Hello, one and all, and welcome to the 4WC prediction stream. Here we are with long-awaited rosters and squads. Very excited for this prediction stream. First time hosting this one with a number of new players to the casting team. Gabbers, Stella Sue, Liliana, and Nyx, all here to talk about our wonderful teams this year. New format with the group stage and all, so excited to see us get going. And just for formatting purposes, we'll be kicking off with our sea countries, our oceanic countries first with Australia, and then moving to Asian countries, basically going by closest time zone in this 1530. But if you guys want to do intros starting from the top, Nyx, we'll kick it off to you. Nyx, okay, Nyx.
Where's my bro?
I muted.
So
Fine,
true.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm a 4WC captain for Italy and 1K plus tournament player. Been playing like every tournament this past year, and that's about it. I'm here to nerd off.
Liliana, over to you.
Hey, I'm Liliana, and I do a lot of commentary. I do a lot of playtesting for tournaments, and I'm some washed 4-digit or something. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Stella. I've been around for quite a while now. This is my third year playing 4WC myself, and I hope I can bring some interesting takes to the table.
That is always the hope. And Gabbers, you as well.
Hello. Been playing tournaments for 2 years. This is my second year playing for WC now. Playing for Team Philippines, one of their core players. Probably know me from a bit of commentating, play testing as well. But yeah, happy to be here. Happy to have been asked out to join the prediction stream, and hope we have a good time.
For sure, and for better or worse, most of you know who I am, Hubba Wubba, 1K plus tournament player, hidden fiend. I yap too much, and that's my goal here. But speaking of yapping, speaking of teams, Australia, we might as well just get underway with this one. Anybody with a bated interest in Australia who wants to kick us off, feel free.
Ooh, I wanna go.
Yeah, go for it, Gabs.
Australia, baby. I know a lot of these players, and I like this team a lot. They went on a pretty good run last year. I believe C12 ending 7th, 8th. And, you look at this roster, they only really changed out Fault for O/. They kept their main core and specialist players with a huge upgrade in having O/, I believe, OWC 2024 player coming in, who's really going to be a big upgrade on their hidden and unorthodox maps. They've kept their mechanics lineup. I believe Sephi, Arbusian, Haley probably going to be playing those sorts of maps, Nye on the more gimmickier stuff, and they're core players. I mean, JGLF, I'm not sure if this year's been the most active from him, but if anyone remembered watching Australia last year, I believe JGLF was at least top 23 in every week's individual performance that they played. He has been such a strong pillar on so many skill sets. And Dumb Andy improving quite well on regional tournaments. Gonna prove to be a very reliable mechanics player as well for them. And Puito kind of gaining a reputation as being a super strong all-rounder who can scale very far on reading speed, tech, alt. So I like Australia. They stuck to their guns. They pretty much just kept their players, and all of them got pretty good, and they got a pretty neat upgrade as well. I don't see them ending before semis. I would say at least 9th, 12th, personally 7th, 8th.
For sure.
Yeah, I would like to follow up on this one, if I can.
Okay, go on.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this here. I have
Ooh.
very high hopes for this team. I don't know, I already saw Jackpax saying stuff about him, but if you've been keeping up, Dumb Andy is improving like crazy recently. And I have like very, very high hopes for Toyota's improvement as well, because he's not only been improving at like the 1K, 5K, whatever level, but he's been keeping up in open rank tourneys too. Like, if you've been watching the regional tournaments for Australia, like, people like Toyoto and Dumb Andy have been pulling up like crazy. Also, O/ coming back is like such a wonderful surprise. And I hope he is de-rusted enough to pull his own weight in 4WC this year. So I think they can make top 4, like honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Dumb Bandy hasn't only been showing off in like regional tournaments. He literally like FC'd Suicide Parade. Like, bro, this guy is 1K and he FC'd Suicide Parade. What are we doing? Why is he allowed to play with us? Like, yeah, this Australia roster is so strong, but I don't agree with you guys on like, especially on the top 4. But I think it's there between top 8 and at worst top 12. But I just think this 4WC is so stacked, you know? It's so many good teams, but I do really think that this roster, like, it has what it takes to get to grand finals, but I think that other rosters have just a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been kind of in the same boat as Stella here. I'm going to put this down as well. I do look at this team and I see a lot of players who have just been so dominant in their respective tournament scenes. Players like Haley, like Poyuto, Super Nai, Dumb Andy. These are players that all have just very high skill ceilings. And so I do think that this team has what it takes to get to top 4. But I'm not sure really how much stronger they are than some of the other teams, but I still feel pretty confident getting them top 4 here.
So my big question mark with this team has to come down to skill cap, right? Because of course there's a lot of talk about Dumb Andy, but 4WC, the hardest scaling 4-digit tournament for good reason. I'm really not confident, especially with some of the players that have been all like off rosters throughout the year, especially in community tournaments. Like the previously mentioned O/JGLF. I'm unsure if the skill cap is going to hold up. So at top 4, I believe it if Dumb Andy is on his A game on every skill set, but I think I'm rocking with the top 8 as well. Very strong team, just I think they might be running into some skill cap walls in those later stages.
I'd like to shout out Super Nine. No one talked about him, but he's been improving so much, especially in Konyo Cup. Whoever watched that grand finals, he popped off. He was last pick, and he got like top 4 match cost, top 3 match cost.
Hell yeah. Super nice. Goat. Shoutouts to the hidden mod. Going over to numero dos here on the list, Australia, we're going to be putting, I believe, in top 8 average there with the top 12 and 2 top 4s. We'll be placing them top 8 overall in our rosters. And moving on to number 2, it's heater after heater with China and a big switch up this time around. It is going to be 2, 3, 4. David gone there. JJ numbers, Dwagon, XZ1 and 970 all going away, but we're getting Nomad 4, we're getting Mid-C back on the roster, former OWC player there, and of course Crystal and Primary. There's a couple of names that we've been waiting for a while in 4WC.
Yeah, I mean, these are some big switch-ins here coming through for China, and I am actually kind of surprised that there are so many new players coming in, and one player in particular, we were kind of talking about them before the stream started. What are we looking at here with Crystal, guys? Like, this dude is an OWC veteran, is one of the better players to ever come from China, and just an all-around monster. And so I am curious to see just how well China can perform. Of course, it's not going to be a single player that can carry them to the top, but you know, with a player like Crystal, I think that there's definitely some talk about how solid this team can be.
Yeah, this team is scary, man. I don't know what to say. Like, Crystal's already there, and I feel like the rest of the players are pretty solid in their own right. Like, David's still playing, Mahiro, solid replacement on mechanics, Fujiwara on low AR. Z98 staying there, pretty good for them. I believe one of their more stronger performers last year, especially on quarters, being able to play a lot of stuff. And having NM4 primary, I'm assuming they're there to fill in for that extra tapping. And Mid-C for just that extra skill set depth. I believe you mentioned OWC player. if I recall, he was like back there on the Chinese roster around 2024 or even before then. Supposed to play last year, I think, but barely missed out the rank range. And then Crystal, the man who's probably going to be leading the charge, the terrorist of this team. It's there's a lot of competition, but I see this team as being one of the competitive teams to beat. So I'm I'm kind of going for. I can see them making finals, so top 8 for sure.
Yeah, I'm going top 4. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna be always. I'm gonna be the one always with the opposing opinion. But I just think that Crystal and David Q on literally anything that isn't like straight up tapping, they can 2v3 any roster, like 2v3, and it's just up to China having enough support, like to complement them. And I really do think that until grand finals, or at least finals, they have what it takes to make it that far. I think Fujiwara is really good. Mid-C, he was ranked 999 last year when regs closed, so he's a welcome addition. I checked some of their tryout scores, and like primary is really good. They've been playing, like, the whole roster has been playing a lot of 1K plus tournaments recently as well. So yeah, I have a lot of faith in them. I think they can make it to top 4 and punch a bit above their weight.
I think y'all forgot. What about the China Dynasty? What about the number 2 3 years in a row? What happened, guys? Top 8. Top 8. This is crazy. Crystal's here, guys. What? This
Bro,
is
David Q is here.
This is
I have a
top
lot of
4 for
teams I
sure.
like.
This is top 4 for sure. I am
Thank you,
very
Hubba.
confident in this. I'm very happy to see Crystal here. Of course, David Z numbers, the core 3, they're gonna be in on pretty much everything. They've transformed over so many years. I think the only missing link with this China team is like a player like Moonlit111, who's also been rapidly improving in range. Like, shoutouts to that guy for carrying every community tournament he's in. Like, he is. I think the rest of this roster is going to be incredible, and they're going to scale great. Crystal's been an open rank player for ages now. The skill cap here is not going to be an issue. Mid-C, welcome addition. A little bit of scheduling woes. I believe he lives in Canada right now. But we'll see how China fares. I think it's a top 4 confidant. But overall, gonna be that top 8. The 3 of you guys said top 8. We oblige. We'll put them in the top 8 there. But up next in our lineup, continuing on with these Asian teams, it's gonna be Hong Kong up next with another major switch up in roster.
Five replacements. F2X coming in. They lost Stillock, which is kind of rough for them, but I think F2X is pretty reliable entry into the team. I believe they did perform for last year's 3WC or this year's 3WC Hong Kong roster that made it to top 2. I believe it was this year. Solid HR and DT player for them. And Hibiki and Pedico solid on most skill sets, so assuming them to be that all-rounder pillars that they can rely on. And I mean, overall, I'd say skill set wise, they're pretty solid. They have Rems, Taithi, and Waya. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, for tapping and mechanics. Skylar for low AR probably. So decent roster with some heavy hitting players. So I would assume them to be solid and middle of the pack. I think roster depth wise and scaling, they could probably make it through groups in RO16. So I'd say this is a team that could make it top 24.
I think top 24 is actually a pretty good read here. But I'm still just not so sure about this team overall. A lot of players that with names that I really haven't gotten to see too much of in tournament scenes, and obviously they're on the team for a good reason. I have full faith in this team, choosing the best players for the country that they could. But yeah, you're losing out on some key players for them, and they didn't qualify last year, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I am actually leaning more towards a top 32 placement here. I do think they make it out of group stage, but I'm just not so sure how deep this team can actually go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna agree
top
with.
32.
Never
I
mind.
mean, yeah, don't worry. Sorry. I mean, it's a pretty good roster on paper, especially with Hibiki on Hidden, F2X on DT, Hard Rock, That Fremont roster is pretty scary, and some of their other players like Pedico, he's good at the game. I've seen him around some but I don't really see most of these players playing a lot of international tournaments, so I don't really have enough confidence to put them winning a match outside of group stage. I think they make it through and lose first match.
I'd have to agree. I don't think if I look at this roster, I think the two standout players are F2X and Hibiki. And Hibiki has been around for so long, but in recent years, I don't know. I feel like keeping up with the overall skill progression in the range has been a bit tough for this country in particular. But I can see them qualify for sure, and I can see them get out of groups. But I'm not sure about much more than that.
After the Seed 40 hiccup in OWC proper, I think that Hong Kong is pretty remotivated in the open rank side. In the 4-digit side, it's not looking that way. I think missing Still, Oxukimi, Flyond in particular, those three players, hurts so bad. F2X being down here is great. He's a phenomenal tournament player, but I think he leans more as a skill cap player. I think a lot of the hiccups that Hong Kong encountered in that original OWC group stage was because they aren't particularly a consistency team. They're strong on hard maps. I have them not making it out of group stage because of that. I think that the consistency are gonna bite back. I think that the motivation isn't quite there in 4-digit, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm very excited to see them in OWC next year now that everyone has woken up, and hopefully the same will happen down here in the 4-digit depths. So on to number 4. Speaking of another DNQ team that could show up with some heat, it's gonna be India, with a number of roster changes as well in 4-digit. Cyan, a pretty big drop for this team, but getting a player like Su Yang in his place might be enough to qualify this year. So what do you guys think about this one?
I think, for me personally, DNQ this year is off the table purely because Artoria My Angel has improved a lot. And by even only Artoria My Angel should be enough to push this team to top 40 at least. I personally put them in group stage finish because I think even though they have a carry who can make them qualify, I think groups where a lot of consistency and reliability on the solid rosters on every map is asked for, I think this team will struggle a lot. So it's gonna be tough for them in groups, but I think they can qualify off the back of Artoria My Angel.
Yeah, I mean, Arturia My Angel improved a bunch. He just won a badge against me in grand finals. Just lost against him, so I know better than to doubt him. But I do really think that the roster changes here, even though they, with merges this year, they managed to get Zuyang. I do really think that it's a downgrade from last year. They lost Cyan, they lost Bra Moment. I mean, they have some decent players, Smudgy, but I think they make Seed 41. I think it's that close, but I think they don't make it.
I mean, they have Artoria, they have Smudgy, which I think are the players that they're going to be relying on quite a lot as they're very reliable, as they're very solid all-rounders. There are other players, meanwhile, this match just seems to be quite solid scaling-wise on the gimmicks. And they have a pretty alright tapping roster. Artoria and Smudgy can probably play most of the maps. Kiari and Zuyang on HRs, Mecha, Ozu Master, and low AR. Surya Pizza and Clarity, I think, on tapping. So I'd say, I think this team did try to consider a lot of the skill sets. So they've got players who can perform relatively alright on a lot of them. I would say they're capable of qualifying for sure. So group stage is how far that I'll see them on. I'm not sure if they can make it out, but I mean, qualification's a qualification, so
Yeah, I really don't know about this team. I think I'm leaning more towards the same boat as Nyx. I think that they are going to get some good scores on a couple of the maps here, but ultimately I feel like they are just going to fall a little bit short. Maybe just that 1-2 placements below the cutoff, which, it's unfortunate, but there's so many good teams in the tournament so far. There's so many teams that I feel like just have more well-rounded rosters. They have rosters with players that are more capable of performing and getting better scores. And so unfortunately, I am also going to lean more towards a DNQ here, although I would love to be proven wrong. But yeah, it just doesn't feel like they're making it into the group stage, unfortunately.
I think they got 3 for every skill set. I think that's good enough to qual. I'm gonna choose to believe. I want to see India play a match so bad. I feel like I never get to see any of these players, with exception to Artoria, my angel in tournament. My only question is like, where's Skin Freak? I think Skin Freak would have been the 4th for a lot of things here. Bit hard to lose him and Cyan, but India, I believe in you. Let's get it to group stage. Let's see you guys play a couple. So overall, that's going to be a group stage placement for India there. We're wishing them luck, but God, it's every hard-hitting Asian team. It's Indo next. Off the back of the underperformance, the Cinderella story of a lifetime last year, in the 19th seed, beating out number 2 Germany to bring it to top 8 and take them out early. Still, let's see why I apologize. I mean, that was the story of last 4WC, and losing Fall and Rosemi sucks quite a bit, but what they get in return in the face of Skydiver in 4-digit, I mean, that's a similar story to Crystal here in the 4-digit realm with regards to former 1v1 tournament experience. I'd like to see you guys' thoughts on Indo in 2026.
This is a roster
Germany...
just of a... Oh, sorry, you go, Stella. You're
okay, I go this time. I think the
You're the
Germany-Indonesia map will forever be my legacy at this point. I have them in top 12 again, honestly. I think the Skydiver upgrade is insane. And I was thinking about top 8 for quite a bit because of Skydiver. But losing Fa and Rosemi is like such a big hit for me that I'm not sure if like one player, like even if it's Skydiver and he's like such high caliber, is enough to like take over and like improve the team by himself. So I think top 12 is like pretty realistic. I think they can go higher. I think they can go top 8. But I have them top 12 for now.
Listen, I look at this team and I see some legends, okay, in their own rights. You know, everyone knows Blank Tap for their amazing commentary, but I feel like a lot less people know Blank Tap as the tournament player that they are. Just an insanely solid player, and yeah, I feel like we can't glaze Skydiver enough. This is a player of old, a legend, if you will, here. And on top of that, getting TWIHD, this is a player that has been on my radar for a long time as being like a very high skilled player. So this team, I think, will make waves, and I do see them actually going top 8 this year again. You know, last year it was the Cinderella story, but this year I feel like they're more deserving.
Yeah, I mean, they've also prepared a bunch for this tournament. There was this, the Oz Indonesia League, where, by the way, TWIHD, I think he got like Rookie of the Year, or like MVP. I don't remember exactly what award he got, but TWIHD performed really well. So even some of the newer names, like it's not a downgrade, you know, like compared to Fa, Rosemi Lovelock, only because like those are the guys we know. Macaber is a different player compared to last year. They improved so much. I think even though some of these players are a bit like old, you know, I'm not sure if they're, you know, if they've still got that drive. I think it should be enough to make top 12.
Yeah, I top 12 minimum for sure. Personally, I have them coming in at a top 8. They have, in my opinion, a really good roster. You guys have been mentioning Skydiver. That guy's been playing OWC since the dawn of time, still keeping up strong performances even today. And I would not be surprised for them to. I personally have them at 7th to 8th again. Same placement as they got. One placement lower than what they got last year. I mean, I have a lot of teams that I've kind of been looking at to be in that finals, in the finals round. So I'd say they can squeak by 7th, 8th. Their hard-hitting players very strong. Fuma, TNG, Macabea, Blanktap, Majiro, those are the ones I'm really looking out for. Not too familiar with B. Brian T. I believe he's gonna be coming in as a pretty solid fill in for the tapping maps, and I mean with TYHD, which I'm assuming they're for the low AR, been performing really well recently. I mean, they have a really solid and well thought out roster that I could see making some waves, as you mentioned. So, top 8 is my guess. This team, I really like them, and I think they're gonna do some good stuff.
So I do have an anecdote here, with regards to this roster in particular. At the top of the year, of course, Sweetheart Showdown was a tournament on its way in. Skydiver just turned 4-digit, and the gimmick of the tournament is that you needed to not have any badges for the last 3 years. Skydiver was so scared of ranking up in preparation for 4WC, he didn't even want to play tournaments. He is locked in for the past half year on this tournament in particular. I'm putting Indo top 4 because I think they are all motivated as hell this year. I like this roster a lot, and I think Skydiver's going to be perma-lobbying. I think Maccabee is going to be great on the gimmick. I think TYHD is going to be phenomenal because remember, there was a little bit of fourth man syndrome in some of those hidden twos, so TYHD going to be great in that slot. Blank Tap always improving on those no mods now with Bryant as backup for those mechanics picks. TNG, that noob guy, the mechanics player for this Indo team, gonna be trudging along with all the skill cap maps. I like this roster a lot. I want to see them succeed. I'm putting them top 4, which means a top 8 overall for the group, but I said my piece. Let's go Indo. Bring us to finals.
Wait, Hub, I have a question.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got China top 4. You got Indonesia top 4. Bro, there are some rosters who are like there's some rosters that are missing there, bro. What are you doing?
Hey, USA didn't even crack top 3 in 5WC this year. Let's bring out some bangers.
Ooh,
No,
Bro,
that's
bro.
5 digits though, Hava. This is different here. And looking at this one, we got Japan, Hava.
Ooh. This is
got
an exciting roster.
We got some cool switch-ins here. Gonna be saying goodbye to almost the entire roster. Only 2 players making it through from previous year here. Shopompon and Autoline are going to be your remaining players from the last year, but a lot of new faces, and specifically I'm looking at Rollpan coming in into this team, a player that I think is a very, very solid pickup for them, although you are losing out on Hifu and Raime Botlium. Those are going to be hurting them quite a bit, I feel like. But yeah, this is an interesting team to me. They got top 32, but I'm leaning more towards top 24 this year. I think that this team is overall just a better version of Japan than last year.
I mean, okay, no Kinakon, but Rollpan is coming in. I feel like that's a pretty solid switch up, solid trade in, pretty even. And I mean, in terms of their players, Autoline and Chuponpon, I think gonna be acting as pretty well-rounded performers for them. Gonna be coming in for a lot of skill sets. At least that's what I remember them as when they played last year. And Suk is back for Japan after not playing last year. I'm assuming their roster is gonna be a bit HD and tech coded again with players like Disappear and Ryu. So they're quite decently. I think they're gonna be going for those maps a lot, and I see them. I mean, they have the heavy hitter in Rollpan, and I think they have, having good tech players and HR players, specifically HR like Mitaga and Devava. I think they have the potential to make it out of groups. I'm not sure if they can go any further though, so I think they're well and more than capable of just getting the same placement that they got last year. So I think I'm just gonna put them in top 32.
Yeah, this was one of the rosters that I had more doubts about when thinking in advance where to place them, because this Japan has they lost some really good players, but they also Chupompon improved a lot compared to last year again. Chupompon doesn't appear to have been a roster change, but he's definitely a better player now, by a big margin. I think the rest is pretty even though, and I think they'll make it. They'll get a good seed, but I think they'll lose out in group stage because of lack of consistency on their third and fourth players on every map. I think they get like a good seed, but drop out in groups and get top 32, unfortunately. Even though I love Japan and Shupompon.
I agree with Nix and Gabber here. I think the Roadman upgrade is huge, but the most important thing, especially in the earlier stages, is you have 4 players who can FC every map, pretty much. And I think they are sort of missing that, barely. I think they have like some really good players, but like the third and fourth players might fall a little behind on like a lot of the maps, so I think they're gonna struggle. Even though I see Seok, and Seok is like one of my favorite players of all time. But I think top 32 is like the most realistic approach for this team, in my opinion.
I think Japan is in a little bit of a reclamation year. I remember, like, of course, like a lot of players leaving that OWC team a few years back with regards to Farvelli and things like that, and Japan on the come up once more. Seeing them active in community tournaments, something I love to see. A lot of these players come directly from their Hippo Cup roster, which Rollpan in 4-digit, another one. What is this guy doing here? He's been 3-digit the entire time I've been playing the game. It's gonna be a great pickup, and I think that I think this is a core carry situation where their core is going to be so strong in Altali and Shopanpan Rollpan that like fourth player just needs to play that one specific skill set, like Syuk for those hiddens or Mitage for those hard rocks. I think it's going to be a pretty solid 4 for a lot of things. Granted, not so solid, not so overboard. I think it's top 24. I think they win their 1 after group stage, but Japan, we're hoping for the best there. With this newfound motivation. But overall there, it's going to be a top 32, I believe, for Japan, alongside Hong Kong. And now it's time for Kazakhstan with some pretty big changes. A lot of them could be seen as upgrades. It is unfortunately Zero Ice and Nezunyan going down. Because I just keep going Plappa and Fragrance of Page, but what they get in return, CPXG, Daniel Lino, Ikigatsu Maru, Kyrgyzstan. Why is the country Kyrgyzstan?
who let Kyrgyzstan into Kazakhstan? What's going on here, guys?
And Madaraha. But like Daniel Lino, Ikigatsu Maru, CPXG, like that, those are 3 massive upgrades in my eyes. And Shuma, of course, still being their captain, I think this is a very solid Kazakhstan roster that can overachieve a little bit in comparison to last year. I think I'm also going to put them in that top 24. I think they are packing a little bit more heat this year all around.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Ravexi loss and the Zero Eyes loss hurts a little bit, but Zima has been more locked in than ever. Ikigatsumaru has been spamming a lot of tournaments recently. The same for Danielino, if I remember correctly. And the merge with Kyrgyzstan helps them a lot, because CPXG should be super, super solid in 4WC by himself as a player. Turnafis also, he won badges last year, like he's been locked in. He's been a little bit like more inactive this year, I think, but I like this team. I personally have them in top 24. I think they can get out of groups, and I think they can win one more match for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna put them top 32. I think they're really close. They're probably like the best top 32 team. But I just think that like their carries aren't like all-rounders like Ravexi, you know? Like CPXG, he's not a guy who's gonna play every map. Zima, as good as he is, he's not gonna be there for every map. And I think, like, I mean, Danielino is a bit more well-rounded, but I'm not sure, bro. If they had Zero Eyes, if they had any one more player, Ravexi, Zero Eyes, I think I'd put them like with much more confidence on top 24. But I think for now, I'm just gonna put them top 32.
Yeah, I'm also in the same boat here. Just missing some key players that I feel like probably would have made the team a lot more well-rounded, and just it is a lot of switch-ins as well, and some of them are solid pickups. And of course, I didn't realize Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan was a merged team, so that makes a little bit more sense why we see the whole nation of Kyrgyzstan on the team for them. But it is still going to be another solid team lineup here for them. But I don't think that they make it out of top 32.
Yeah, I can't help but really agree. I mean, I feel like their tapping doesn't hit as hard without Revexi and Zero Eyes, I suppose. So I mean, they still have solid players. I'm just not sure how well like Iki Katsumaru or Kyrgyzstan players like those could scale like really far. So I just have them like right outside of groups, top 32.
Yeah, so it's going to be a top 32 overall for Kazakhstan. They're going on to a little bit of a smaller country here in Macau. Coming back with the same roster as last year. It's going to be Tokiri leading the charge alongside PSC, Alex Chio Knight, Polyrex, and SBHQ. Of course, same roster. I don't know if you guys have any intel on the activity of these players. Of course, Tokiri, a name I've been seeing a little bit in those community tournaments. But other than that, I am a little bit uncertain about this Macau roster.
I mean, I know PSC is active. Yeah, they played Shuffle Suiji, Shuffle Squad, whatever the name of that tournament is called, SSR. And they made it to finals losers, if I recall correctly, and they were playing really well. But yeah, I think even though it's the same, like they've improved or they've been a bit active, I just don't think they qualify.
Yeah,
I played a tournament with Tokiri last year at around this time, and he's like a super locked-in player. I think just the country being very small and having a very limited player base is just such a big hit for motivated players, and I think it's just gonna not be enough for qualifying for 4WC.
It hurts too because there are some solid players here. But in a tournament like 4WC where, you know, it's make or break dependent on your best roster, and your best roster only being 6 players when you could have 8 players, just doesn't quite get you there, unfortunately, in my mind. And, you know, I'd love to be proven wrong, but even if they qualify, they're not making it out of group stage. And for that reason, I feel like it's just going to be a DNQ, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately for Macau, I assume it's going to be a DNQ across the board, but prove us wrong, Macau. I mean, those top 2, of course, Tokiri PSC players to look out for regardless, coming out of those qualifier stats. Moving right along over to another M country, it's Malaysia this time round. With the same core you would expect. It's Stumphole, it is Mint Breeze, Hot Dog, coming back for that core 3 with some swap outs. Chiyu gonna be hopping in the roster for the first time. Player I'm a bit excited. Of course, Snowy a little bit of a hit, but Chiyu a little bit of a gain. Curious to see where you guys think Malaysia lands.
I think the Blood Zeph duo still playing together, or I suppose Mapayo Mint Breeze is pretty good. Chiyu is a very good addition for them. Seeing them playing very nicely on Gimmick and, well, being generally well-rounded when I was watching Pearls Extravaganza Gala. They have tapping and mechanics at Sawyer and Stumphole. Chibi Marco as well. It's one of those teams, I guess, that I'd say they have pretty decent firepower in their strong hitting players and all right specialists. So, in my opinion, like, it's not really the deepest roster. I think they definitely have enough to qualify, but I mean, at most make it out of groups. So I'll say top 32.
Also, I've done a
like...
top 32. I think the
Oh, so, no, go.
Okay,
You
I will
you
go on. Okay, I think Malaysia has always been like a team that's not like particularly scary in the later stages, but I would always be terrified to play against this team in like a group stage format. Like Blefs, in my head, is such a demon on low SR that he is always such a scary opponent. And I've had to make that experience a couple times before. I think they make it out of groups, but I think they finish in groups. But I'm not really sure about like making it any further than that.
Yeah, I was also just gonna say I think it's just a top 32 finish here, cut and dry. This is a decent enough team to qualify. This is a decent enough team to make it through groups. could potentially maybe get top 24, but they'd really have to try hard, and even then, I don't think they're making it beyond there. So top 32 feels safe for this team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
agreed.
a team that I never see losing groups. Like, this is a team that will always make it out of groups because of their early stage consistency and well-rounded skill sets. I just think skill cap hits them a little bit sooner than a lot of other teams. So excited to see Malaysia there in that group stage, top 32 overall. Oh, moving right along to New Zealand. I saw some mentions in the chat, people waiting for New Zealand to come through. And actually looking at the old roster is just their OWC roster that they ran with this year. Hasapi, P, Ozzy, very good players there. But leading the charge with a couple of new ones, Dasher and Jeeting in specific, some players to look out for and players I'm excited to see. Curious to see your thoughts on New Zealand this year.
Wait, how did they DNQ with Ozzy P and Hasapi? Wait,
That's
what?
what
I
I'm
wonder
saying.
the same thing right now.
Wait,
No
I'm
idea.
opening that MP right now. What happened?
Yeah, surely they were just missing players. No, I think the team is still solid. DNQ, I don't know about that for this year. Definitely a team that can qualify no problem. I'm actually leaning more towards top 24, which might sound kind of crazy, but I feel like if this team does show up and they do perform, this is a team that can make waves and even have potential for like some upsets. I mean, I'm looking at Rumi and I'm looking at Jeeting and Mitya. These are some really solid players to me that I think can perform quite well in their own respective rights. So I feel like top 24 is quite doable for them, maybe even higher.
Yeah, if we
I
learned
don't
anything
agree.
from OWC, I think it keeps happening. I'm sorry. If we learned anything from OWC, I think it's that New Zealand as a country, if they have the goal in mind, they can push themselves to achieve like a certain goal. I think it will be enough to qualify this year. I don't think it will be more than that, but I think they can qualify.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely can qualify, but I just don't really see a four-man roster that is consistent on a lot of maps that can, like, pump out FCs in group stage or even an upset afterwards and winning a match. Like, I think at best, I don't know if it sounds cruel, but I think that a top 32 finish is pretty solid for this roster, especially considering they DNQ'd last year. I think they might be able to make it out of group stage, but I don't think they win anything out another match, definitely. I think they lose out in group stage, though. I think they make it to top 40.
Well, I'd say I mean, yeah, the Osbert and Imilbus not playing this year. I think they're definitely tough losses, but I mean, their players, I suppose, are not that bad. Shigon Femi, good keep for mechanics. Goofster on tapping, Rumi on HD and weirder stuff. So it's really the question of whether the additions can make up for the losses and if the retaining players have really improved enough. So, I mean, I'm going to go middle ground. You guys are saying group stage, Liliana on top 24. In my opinion, I think they can make it out of groups, but no further. So I'm going top 32.
Yeah, I've put them in group stage only because I value well-roundedness in teams, and I think this is a team that is very mechanics forward. I think this is a team that, like, you're not gonna see them lose a DT1 or a DT2, but you're gonna see some hiccups on HR2s and hiddens and some leeway there. What Australia brings to the table with regards to mod variants and gimmick representation, New Zealand just kind of lacks. And I think that New Zealand needed a little bit more of that sauce. So I have them qualifying. I think their mechanics are going to be phenomenal, but I think they just get a little bit skill set swamped in that group stage. So that's going to be, I believe, a group stage overall with a group stage overall there for New Zealand. As all their players ranked up, I fear. And a new team, first time presentation here for Pakistan. Coming through with the 5-player roster is EB, Darkside Orbit, Fase, Pampilius, and Sarim. Unfortunately, just players I'm not all too familiar with. I'm gonna smack them in the DNQ, but if anyone has any anecdotes or notes on any of these players, feel free to shoot your shot. I feel like we may all be in the same boat.
Yeah, I'm
definitely
not
are the
really.
same boat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to say because I believe they only had like, did they only have 5 signups, and now they have 5 players, so it's pretty much all of the signups in. And you mentioned it yourself, players are quite unknown to you, players are quite unknown to me, and I mean, I don't think these are players that are relatively too known in the tournament scene, or I mean, probably a lot of them are kind of new to tournaments in general, so that doesn't really give me too much confidence. So yeah.
It's just a small player base issue, I think. Like
Yeah.
they have a small player base and they're lacking like established tournament players, and I think that's just very tough to like progress with.
Yeah. But regardless, excited to see them present for the first time. Excited always. I gotta root for an underdog. So hope you guys prove us wrong, Pakistan, with the 5-man believers. Going down that list once again to another P country. This one a little bit more established in that tournament scene. It's gonna be the Philippines here, coming through with a top 24 last year. Which with that roster is a top 24 is absurdly
Whoa.
low. I think. Like, are we talking about the same team? That's absurd. Top 24. They're losing Zydor and Bin Ninja. Perhaps of course Zydor and former OWC player Bin Ninja. I believe was on the OWC roster last year. This is a Philippines that is constantly shifting and evolving, but seeing VDC Guardian up on the list, Laferre hopping on this Philippines roster alongside Zany, Jitterish, Gabbers, of course Gabbers here, champion.
Champion. Yeah.
We're going to
Hi, Gabbers.
let you go first.
Right
We're gonna let you
off
go
the
first.
rip.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
go,
baby.
Go for it, Gabbers.
All
Take us
right,
away.
So a bit of a correction. The Ninja, I believe 3WC, not OWC,
Yes.
but yep, Zidorn, veteran, so rough to lose him. Puffin and perhaps close friends in for HD and HR respectively, but I mean, in my opinion, yeah, it was surprising to see us go out in top 24, but the consistency just weren't there. And this time around, in my opinion, I feel like the players are a lot more solid and consistent. I mean, I think in this roster, a lot of people are going to be looking at me and Zany at the helm, playing a lot of those maps. Zany just demolishing the gimmicks and HDs, open rank level monster on low AR. And I can play most stuff except for like speed, so even then we have that covered with the especially very, very strong tapping roster with Zany filling in, Jitterish, OWC speed player, Francis Queso. I mean, that guy is a genuine monster. Good scores on Battle of Hong Kong and Crimsonic Dimension. And Lafarelle, good friend of mine, commentary goat as well, who, if you don't know, can actually scale really, really damn well on tapping up to like 7.6, 7.8. And then just to, put a little bit of a bow tie on HD and reading, we have VDC coming in, who was our 4th best player on a lot of the reading maps. Maran and Carr, who came in from the 5-digit World Cup Philippines roster, who did win this year. I think a lot of the question marks with this roster is going to be whether the imports are going to be good enough to scale pretty far. And in my opinion, based on recent performances and tryout scores, they have done pretty well on SRs up to 7.2, 7.4. Marin being especially well-rounded. Carr kind of, taking up the torch from what perhaps left behind, doing well on his skill set. So in my opinion, like, last year was a bit inconsistent, a bit shaky. I'd say we are a lot more solid this time, and I am confident to say that we have potential to make a deep run, but in my opinion, it's going to be 12th, top 12, 9th, 12th, something like that.
Yeah, about the concerns on scaling, I understood that Core had that dog in him when in the 5WC server. Bro, he RS the score on Red Park Hard Rock and it was an A rank. And I said, bro,
Oh yeah.
why is he playing 5WC? What is shit going on? Like, I think this is a really good roster who's gonna make top 12. And I mean, it's unfortunate. I think they can make it through. But it's tough. It's tough. There are so many good teams, but this team really is super good, and I think this is definitely gonna exceed their score, like their placement from last year.
Yeah, I think we are overall in that top 12 range. I'm excited to see the new players come through. Excited to see more of an all-rounded Zany. I believe going to be filling in that alt tech skill sets very well. Fremod's team, very, very scary here for the Philippines. top 12 overall seems like the play for Philippines, and we're gonna keep on moving right along over to Singapore, who unfortunately takes some pretty massive hits from a top 16 last year. It's Qstronaut and Psy Mango both to the wayside there. Some pretty painful losses, especially seeing what Qstronaut's been up to in the open rank tournaments these days. If any of you guys want to take it away, feel free.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of these players in the tournament scene for a very long time. Of course, Bronya coming in over Qstronaut is you might look at that and be like, oh yeah, Qstronaut's leaving, but Bronya's like a crazy solid player for Singapore as well.
That's
Actually,
Tebby.
Yeah.
Why are we name
Yeah, so-
changing? Stop that immediately.
Well,
That's
Qstronaut-
heavy. Never
Qstronaut
mind.
is also
Ignore,
lifetime now, so
ignore everything I said. This team is fine.
yes, this team is absolutely perfectly fine, and you do still have players like GS Blank, like Acacia, Moose Pie. You have Galahad coming in for Psy Mango, and that one maybe might feel a bit more like a downgrade, but like marginally. This is a very, very solid team. And genuinely, I do feel like this is going to be a top 8 team. Probably like 5th or 6th, if I had to guess.
I'm a bit surprised, honestly. Okay.
Yeah, what the
Top 8? I think
I'm glazing them. I'm glazing them, and it might be my hottest take, but I do genuinely feel like this team is very, very solid.
No, I genuinely respect it. Because I have teams like that too. Like, as we saw earlier with like Australia, I was like glazing them to death. So, but like, I don't know. I respect Dawnwing for, not Dawnwing, GS Blank for like playing his like 10th 4WC in a row at this point. And I think they're all like really solid. I just feel like they're letting us down a bit on like the later stages of the tournament, like every time. But so I put them in top 24. Especially like Qstronaut, I think should be like such an important aspect of this team, and he's not there, unfortunately. And I think that's a very, very big issue for me with this team.
So I think this is a team. Singapore has always had an identity in AIM, specifically DT AIM. Their DT1s have always been solid. They've always had a good DT3 roster. They've always had solid No Mod 1s, HRs. That has been their identity for the longest time. And with this roster in particular, I don't know. I have questions regarding scaling, and I have questions regarding their identity. I think this is a little bit of an identity loss with Galahad Bronya coming in. Will they be solid on a lot of skill sets? Yes. My question is, I don't know if skill cap consistency is going to be there. I'm also in that top 24 boat for that reason.
It's a tough crowd.
Tough crowd. I think they can do really well in qualifiers, but I just don't have that confidence on the second half of the roster to put them top 8. You know, like Wick is really good on Hard Rock. I know Hikacia is really good on Hidden. Moose P is really good on like No Mod gimmick and DT gimmick, and we know Pez is pooling, so there's gonna be a lot of that. But like I'm just not sure that it can make it that far. I don't have enough confidence, and I mean, top 24 isn't bad, but I think it's a downgrade because of not having Qstronaut.
Yeah, I think we all
24
kind of
it
agree.
is.
It's 24.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Well-
24 overall for them, and over to Sun. Oh
Look
my
at
God,
this.
South
Yes!
Korea.
Yeah,
Hello,
look
South
at this.
Korea.
Yes!
Hello, South Korea.
These are some roster hits though. MX10,000, Gambler, Lujolgon. If you guys have any anecdotes on the new players, feel free to shoot your shots. But this is a South Korea returning from top 8 last year, which felt like a little bit of a hiccup in their game. Some lucky seeding placements there for their matchups, but a very strong South Korea team returning with some roster changes.
I want to say,
The
in case you weren't aware, Piper, Hayasaka
Yeah,
Ai is
Piper.
Piper.
It's what I was gonna say. Hayasakai is just Piper. Not sure.
Oh,
if you know
Yeah,
that.
Piper is back.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
the
name
new
changes, guys.
The new players are basically Latal, who's like a really good combo gaming like tapping player who can scale. Like I've seen some incredible scores in like finals, grand finals level tapping, 89 FCs and stuff like that. Piper is Piper. I'm not sure if there's need to any introduction. I played with them in LeBron James Luigi, and he's like he's the rusted. Like there's no need to worry about him being rusty. Mouse player is super good. I think this is just a super solid squad. But there are so many good teams again. It's up to, I think, if they want to make it to top 4, top 3, top 2, it's up to players like Nope KJK and Bewall and Choco and Crazy. I mean, they have such an insane roster core, but I don't know if they if they're strong enough to make it to top 4. But I think they definitely make top 5, 6. I think they're like probably the best team that doesn't make top 4.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm on the contrary for some reason, but yeah, I have them at 4th. I don't know. I really like their core. I feel like Nope KJK Bewall, that duo is just so lethal on a lot of insane skill sets. Nope KJK has proven to be such an amazing open rank player on practically, I mean, virtually every skill set there is, I suppose. And Bewall just playing at a high level, like HD aim, low AR, tapping. Like that guy is genuinely insane, and I believe this year has the potential for us to see some pop-offs from him, since I do know that he has been spending some time de-rusting. They have solid performers on Choco, Gera, Lulu, and Crazy on their specific skill sets, and I think, I mean, these swap-ins from these 3 new players that they've got, Mouse player Latal Hayasaka I mean, I feel like this team has always looked really, really good in most years of 4WC, and I feel like they have potential to get really far, so I'm just gonna put them at 4th.
Yeah, I am also leaning more towards top 4 here. Listen, we've got 3 teams already in the top 8, and I know that we can like move stuff around later, but this is a top 4 team in my eyes. These players are so incredibly solid when it comes to all the different stages of the tournament, and you know, I just feel like this is a team that can make it the distance. We've already kind of mentioned a lot of what I would have to say about them, so I am going to keep it short here. Top 4, just it's all I can see from this South Korea team.
Top 8. I haven't seen Mouse player Latel play community tournaments. It's unproven to me. It's like I'm hoping for the best. I've heard good things. I've seen good things on solo leaderboards. I don't know how their tournament nerve is. Everyone else is going to be just fine, but I think if my question marks remain true, I think South Korea, similar to those previous years, it's always been a question mark with regards to the DT pool, and I think that remains true with this team potentially. So I'm gonna keep them in top 8. Expect the worst, hope for the best. And that is going to be a top 8 filled out, I believe, with the average there. So that is all 4 of our top 8 teams filled out within the top half. So you're expecting lower or higher overall from this point forward for these rosters. Gonna be going over to Taiwan, who are losing Spines Knight, but gain Diastrophism Luca in the place. I think is going to be an overall bump for Taiwan, who of course they fight like dogs. Gaohao Flyer being the respective carries for their different skill sets. I'm excited to see perform in 4WC here with Diastrophism in particular.
I mean, we saw what Gaohao and Ruyai are capable of doing in OWC against Romania. I mean, in OWC in general, like they played super well. They did their part, even though they are like 1K, like they're 1K plus players. I think they have a bunch of good supporting players. And again, as I said that I lost the grand finals against Arturia, my angel, I lost it also against Gaohao, who top match costed. So this guy is probably top 5 players in the tournament. Like, no, I don't think that's even like a hot take. So I think they have definitely, like, even though they lost Spines Knight, who is a super good player, I think they have enough to like just do about the same and get top 16 again.
I like
that's
Luca
tough.
coming in.
It's tough because I think I'm leaning more towards top 12 actually for this team. They are gaining a couple of solid names here in Luca and Diastrophism. The qualifiers I'm not as familiar with, but it's Spines Knight that they're losing. And so I do feel like if Spine's Knight was still on the team with the additions of Luca and Diastrophism, I would actually have leaned more towards top 8 personally. But yeah, top 12, top 16, I feel like is where they're gonna end up, and I am gonna land a little bit higher than what it seems everyone else is here.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat. I'm very excited to see. It seems like Qualifier's new tournament player on the scene was solid for their 5WC roster. Has a couple badges from just this year, but in terms of the rest of the roster with regards to qualifiers coming back, I think like Taiwan has an age issue, which might feel crazy to say. It's why you're gonna put them in the top 16, but like. You are expecting constantly out of the Taiwan roster to bring back that old guard year after year. Dog, Rucker's like 32 now. Spines Knight's probably like 28 now. Like, we just need some new faces, and I think Taiwan never really brings new faces. So they're always going to be in this perpetual middle ground top 16 range where you're just kind of hoping for some new blood on the table. So Taiwan, excited to see them play again, of course, with that old guard. It's always fun to see, but top 16 feels like the ceiling there, and going to be the placement overall for Taiwan. Going to be putting them in that top 16, first team there for our overall rankings. Moving right along, going to be Thailand now with a top 24 last year, and a number of players that have been playing a ton of community tournaments after the last year. PPKM, RS3, Chess, Meaner, Soft Bunny, all players that have really upped their game in the last year, and that I'm excited to see, I think, overperform their top 24 seeding from last year. I'm just going to off-rip plop them in that top 16 range as well. I think this is an upgraded Thailand roster because of that activity.
I would love to see this team place higher than top 24, because I'm a big RS3 believer. I played against him in the grand finals in the middle of last year, and he was like very, 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 very good, and he's been improving since. Chess has been a de-rusting. I know Nix knows about that one.
I know about that one. I know about the ARZ3 and chess. Don't worry. I felt it in my skin, bro.
But I don't know. I like look at the remaining teams and I'm like, this is so competitive, and like so many teams are going to be locked in. I think this team can make top 16, but I think 24 is like the safe bet to go for. But I would love to be proven wrong by this team. I really, really like some players of this team.
I second everything Stellaza just said, like literally, word by word.
Like, it's kind of just a thing, like, 24 is like a safe spot for a lot of teams with solid players. I mean, I look at the RS3 Chests Winner like trio, who I know have been like a very, very lethal presence in the tournament scene. I've played against those three a couple of times, and they have so much reach on a lot of the pool, just the three of them, and so much good scaling. My question is whether the roster depth is going to be there. I'm not too familiar with a lot of their other players. I think 24 is a solid placement for them, so I don't really see them placing anywhere lower or higher. So I think it's a sweet spot.
Yeah, this is a team that can definitely just make it out of groups. They can make it past their first round match as well. But much beyond that, I really don't see too much potential for them. Of course, upsets do happen. There's always going to be some kind of Cinderella story somewhere. But yeah, this Thailand team, it's a good team, but top 24 just feels right for me.
It seems me jumping off with top 16 did not start a bandwagon, unfortunately.
Hey man, I tried it with South Korea. I tried it with South Korea. It didn't quite go the way that I was thinking either. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, Thailand's gonna be a top 24 overall. Thinking we're gonna stay about the same with them. And going on to our final Asian team of the bunch, it's going to be Vietnam up next with a full roster swap here. Tuan, Faith, Electrostrike, Zooth, See Me, all gone, and they do get another guy, a player that I've been looking out for, and Love Katagiri, but There's a lot of unknowns with this team, I think.
Yeah, big question mark for this team. I'm not really sure. I've been a big something else believer in like the past 2 years. I think he would have been like pretty good for this team probably if he kept playing, but I think like especially losing him and like Simi, I think it's too big of a hit, and I think DNQ is like the thing I would choose for this team.
I don't think it's that bad. I think another guy is decent. I saw like some of these players, they're like pretty active, even though it's not international tournaments. In the Asian tournaments, in Rome AI League, I faced a Vietnamese team. I think they have enough. Like seeing just out of the like Asian tournaments and Vietnam tournaments, I think they have enough to qualify. But yeah, about that.
This is a team I feel like you guys are sleeping on. Tongyang Grape. This is a player who I have seen improve like exponentially over the last year or so. That is just really performing quite well in some open rank tournaments, and just a very, very scary player that I think will be enough to get them over that group stage line. Top 32, probably not, but definitely into the group stages just off of some key solo performances here. And also Hyun coming in. This is another player that I have been seeing on like so many leaderboards as just a very, very solid player for this team, specifically on like mechanics stuff as well. So like the combination of these two players can be very, very scary to get them into that group stage. But yeah, I don't see them going much further than that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree. I mean, I the main players that I'm really looking at here is, as you mentioned, Nguyen Grape or Obren, and another guy, Hearn. I mean, I see this roster as being very mechanically sided, which I think it's not gonna be helping them in the long run. But I think they have the talent to, at the very least, qualify. I think another guy is one of the more consistent tapping and DT oriented players that I've seen, like whenever they play like a relatively high SR, around 7.2, 7.4, I suppose. So I think group stage is gonna be possible for them for sure. They got really close when, I mean, granted there was no group stage last year, but they got like seed 42, I think, in qualifiers. So a bit of pushing, I think they can make it.
I'm going to agree with group stage, but I agree with everything Gabber said, but I want to preface, I think their team last year makes top 24 in this climate. Like, their team last year is a similar build to Malaysia, where they're just mad consistent in those early stages. I think they lose a little bit of that heat this year with how many roster changes. It's a little bit of a rebuild year for Vietnam, but I think they make group stage, seems to be the consensus here. Group stage and gone for Vietnam. And speaking of gone, that was our final Asian country, so we're going to be moving on over to Europe now with another big change coming out of Austria with Tepi and Sparkze both falling to the wayside. Pittenger and G-Chan also taking a break this year, but what they're getting is Toma Doi and Neko Yase, two players that I've had my eye on for a minute. Gonna be curious to see what you guys think about Austria, top 32 last year. What are they getting this year?
Last year I saw them being
go on.
All right, my bad. Last year I saw them being like very control and gimmick oriented. They had Food Cup, very well rounded, and Lamenting Alice, genuine monster on HD and lower AR maps. So I think their stay in the team is definitely gonna be playing to their benefit, and the show Ayokiro staying helps their mechanics stay intact. But yeah, as you mentioned, Tepi and Pittinger is quite a rough loss for them. Tepi was a solid performer on most maps, and having no Pittinger is kind of a big blow on their aim and their mechanics quite a bit. So the question pretty comes to how well can the new players fix the issues that they had last year. So Tomodo is a solid all-rounder, doing well in HRDT, all-around in HD. And Nakayase hopefully providing the team a bit more consistency on precision, which I believe was one of their weaker points last year. So Austria, I mean, the losses on the roster are quite rough, and there's too much question marks for me. So I'm just gonna say they're gonna make it into groups. They have solid performers that could push them to qualify, but making it into bracket is another question entirely. So
Yeah, I agree.
Seems like
I
a
mean,
big agreement. Everyone switched over
Yeah.
at
I mean, Tappy Fangirl, Lamenting Alice will just have C hidden 2, will get like super boost and Z sum, and they will qualify. It is what it is.
real.
one.
That's so real.
True.
Yeah, it seems like the group stage overall for Austria that is halfway through our group stage outing teams. Unfortunately, just not well rounded enough to make it out. Seemingly, moving right along over to the Balkans, who is some first time players here. Looking at players like Taldux on this roster is a bit scary, as well as Tigi EXE, I believe is how you're gonna pronounce that. Champions.
Yeah.
Listen, they have Malashevsky on the team.
Oh, wait
I
a
don't care if
minute,
it's spelled
wait a
properly. Look at that.
Host champion.
Wait a minute, we're on something. But yeah, this is a first time Balkans roster hybrid here. Curious to see your guys' thoughts on some of these players who should be pretty solid.
I really think they can make it past groups. I don't know. This is probably a hot take, and I'm pretty sure it's a hot take. But I think Taldux is just that kind of player that in group stage he can play every single map. And a lot of people don't know because How to Play is a Russian speaker, and he plays mostly Russian tournaments. But he's so consistent. Like, they have that consistency to make it past early stage, especially with players like TGX, Kitty Gru for mechanics. I mean, they're lacking a lot on hidden and low AR, and that's like the big concern. But I think even though that's a big concern, they can just span it out, and on the free mods, Taldux is gonna have to see every map with hidden. So I think they can make it past groups, not much more though. So top 32.
So we're not thinking champions here, right?
Hey,
No.
hey,
That's
I'm
what everyone's
Malashevsky
thinking.
can only do so much.
Listen, I don't know how to feel about this team. Yeah, you've got Taldux, but it's a lot of names that I'm just not super familiar with, and I don't feel comfortable placing them in group stage necessarily because there's so many teams, and only 4 more teams would make it into group stage. I do feel like this would just be D and Q for me, but again, that's just because I don't like the proper ball knowledge on this team.
Yeah, I'd say I'll have to agree. I mean, Tiggy has been quite active this year, and Taldux, a name that I've been hearing like here and there. More badges on his profile than I'll ever see in a lifetime. Like, very solid D ranker and very solid all rounder, which I think can definitely do well in group stage if given the chance. But I'm not really too sure about how well the rest of the roster can really scale to that qualifier stage. I mean, Tiggy and Taldux are only really the 2 players that I'm looking at. It seems like a lot of the players don't have too much experience towards SRs up to 7 flat, so I am not really too confident that they're gonna
I'd like
have
to add
proper
one
scaling.
thing. I think that if they qualify, they make it past groups, but the big question is qualifying because they lack like hidden, they lack
Yeah.
a bit more more gimmicky skill sets. They really do lack it. But I think that once they make it to groups, they have a super solid roster on hard rock, mechanics, DT, free mods. So I think that's the gamble I'm taking. They qualify in 40th, and then they make it past groups.
I dropped this.
Okay.
No!
That's crazy.
Let's
The
go.
bomb!
Let's
go,
go,
Papa.
Balkans, bring it home. I like this roster a lot, I can't lie. Tiggy, very, very solid player. Taldux is going to be in for everything, like you said. That is just the core player. Taldux can play every skill set. He is good. Then you have to mention players like previously mentioned How to Play in Quilligrew. Very phenomenal mechanics players in tournament that I think, like, they're just going to be very solid. They're going to have a very solid 3 for everything, and I think Taldux is so experienced that they're going to know what to pick against those teams. I think that group stage is going to come by easy. I think they might get capped. Like the top 24 is due to capping and due to a lack of variance, but like they're good. They have a good core. What can I say? I'm excited to see this roster. I'm excited to see Balkans. 4WC first timers here. I do believe that is going to lead us to a group stage overall for this team, average-wise, with the 2 DNQs, group stage, top 32, top 34. So, Balkans, bring it home, baby. Big fan of a lot of these players. Moving right along to another B European country, it's Belarus with a DNQ last year and some unfortunate drops, specifically with Wexy and QWERTY, some players that it hurt a little bit to lose, and lacking ball knowledge. I'm gonna be with Nyx early on here with the DNQ. I think this might be a lack of knowledge. If you guys have any anecdotes, feel free to shout.
If they had 20
Where's 20?
Wait,
Yeah,
Holy,
bro,
can I get a true?
20.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Where's 20? Oh, tough.
That's all I have to say, I think.
Tough,
Yeah.
tough. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Belarus. No 20 all around, just a lack of knowledge, especially with the players lost. DNQ for Belarus. Wish you all the best. Bring it back next year. Right along to a B that is a bit more ingrained in the tournament community, going to be Belgium, returning back with some big switch ups. iBlue and Mornis, some players that hurt a little bit to lose, but they get back Ray Zero after a few years. 5Joshi, Laishi, Boba still in the fray as captain and core. Curious to see your guys' thoughts on Belgium after the DNQ last year.
I think this team has always been so close to like DNQing. With this format specifically, with like top 40 teams qualifying, I think there is no way for me this team doesn't qualify this time. Because I still think that like the more veterans on this team can like pull a lot of weights, and I don't see them going far. I think losing Moines on like the tapping mechanic stuff is very, very sad. But I think they qualify this time, and I think they make it out of groups.
Yeah, I don't know. Not having Mornis though. I don't know if they have a third and a fourth that's solid to like. I mean, they might qualify, but I don't really think they can make it past groups without like a third, fourth player that's super consistent. I just see 5Joshi. I see Linche Boba. I mean, it might be just a lack of ball knowledge, but I don't really see it. I don't really see the top 32. What are you guys' thoughts? It's between DNQ and group stage for me.
Yeah,
I think group stage.
I'm just gonna put them DNQ, and it's not because I don't want them to qualify. I think this team will qualify, but like, we have so many teams already in the group stage, and there's only so many teams that can qualify. There's only so many teams that can make it beyond that group stage as well. And there's so many more solid teams. I feel like just better, well-rounded teams. DNQ makes the most sense to me here, but this is a wild card team, right? This team has potential to make it into the tournament, to make it into the group stage, and even beyond that, as into like top 32. Like Stella's looking to top 32 here makes 100% sense. This is a team that I think could do that. However, just given the nature of how many strong teams there actually are, I just can't see it happening, unfortunately.
I think I'm gonna go middle of the ground. I don't know. Like, the players that I'm looking at here are particularly like Laichi Boba or Hanori and 5Joshi, which were their solid performers from last year. So I mean, the question is with these like new players, Mornis Gone is kind of a big hit. If I recall, they played all maps for them last year in qualifiers, and I don't have too much info on the rest of their players. Ray Zero, Kurokami, and Muramin, I'm not sure if they played much matches. I think there is a potential for them to qualify if the consistency is there. I don't know. I'm just gonna go group stage and let's just roll with it.
I think this is like when you see a spirit in a video game finally complete their task and then they dissipate into the void. Belgium won their OWC match. There's no more goals for Belgium. The Belgian players that waited all those years, the Belgian players that waited all those years, like Mornis and iBlue, they're gone now. They're not on the roster. So I think it's just like it's the poof. It's the vanishing, and I don't think Hanori and 5Joshi is going to be enough to get them in that qualifying realm, unfortunately. Too many unknowns. But yeah, I believe that's DNQ overall for Belgium, unfortunately. we'll have to see him prove us wrong, especially after that OWC performance. But on to another B one. It is Bulgaria this time around, coming off of that DNQ last year, with a similar roster in the sense that I unfortunately don't know any of these players. Synchro HD, only player I recognize out of this list, and he is departing, I fear. Gonna be a DNQ from me. If you guys have any anecdotes, feel free to shout.
As far as new players go, I don't recognize any of the players here. Now, they are losing Synchro HD. Yeah, you mentioned that. H. Landon is another really solid player that I actually used to team with a lot back in like 2018, 2019. And so I do know that that one is going to hurt Bulgaria quite a bit. And as much as I love Bulgaria as a country, you know, my sister-in-law is from Bulgaria. I don't think this team is going to be capable of making it into the group stage, unfortunately, which is quite tough to see. But there's, again, it's just so many other strong teams that this Bulgarian team, I'm not sold on them.
Yeah, just for the sake
Yeah.
of time, is it feeling like a DNQ all around?
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
really blame you guys.
It's
I
a
mean,
bit unfortunate.
most of their players aren't really that active. So, like, the last tournament most of them played is 2025, and they're all newcomers. I just think they lacked experience, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if they can scale past 6.8, 6.9. That's the thing from how I've seen their matches. So that's my big worry, if whether they'll be able to manage qualifiers. And from how I remember last year, Cesari and Ted, the two remaining players from the previous year's roster, I mean, Cesari played a lot of maps, and Ted was there to fill for some of the HRs and some of the weirder skill sets towards No 1 for HD2. But overall, not too comfortable, and I'm not sure if the new players are gonna be too comfortable either. So yeah, DNQ.
Unfortunate for Bulgaria there with the DNQ. Moving right along, though, gonna be Czechia up next with their... Whoa, that's a big hit. Unfortunately, losing Fiskill and Sigmund Fraud and Walker. They do get back Corpse, but a lot of unknowns with this team. I think this is a very unfortunate DNQ, because a lot of the players that they're missing are players that have upgraded over that past year. It's a bit of a shame here for Czechia. Actually, I'm gonna check. Do we think Fiskill is like 3-digit now or something?
No, he hasn't.
He just didn't play.
Just
What?
couldn't bother.
Yeah,
said-
that's a shame.
He didn't have enough
Man.
motivation to play. I'm not sure
That's
why
a shame.
exactly. I think he just doesn't have enough faith. But he's active, you know. He just RS'd in my server, like literally 10 minutes ago.
The dude is
Yeah.
actively playing the game as we speak.
Yeah,
He
Why
is
did they
busy.
not sign up? No, no. Yeah,
It's so
it's rough.
unfortunate not to see them playing. Like Fiskill, Sigmund Fraud was like, they're very solid all rounders from last year.
Mhm.
And I mean, as far as their new players, I think Corpse was on their 5WC roster this year, but as far as everyone else, most of them I see as being mechanically inclined HRDT players. So the loss is pretty significant. Not sure if they'll make the
also
cutoff.
Myron. Also,
Oh,
Demiron,
really?
he's also a pretty good player, but he, you know, like they lost everyone. Like every good player I know, Sigmund Freud, Demiron, he's
Yeah.
in like finals European Draft Cup. Fiskill, why did they all leave? They're all active. You know, like,
Yeah.
Demiron is literally playing a finals of European Draft Cup.
I
You could
think
have just
with-
signed up.
With those pieces, they definitely could. There's a good case for them making groups at least, but it just didn't. They're not here, and that's how it is.
There's a good case for them making round 32. I think that's another group stage roster that'll be killer, but unfortunately, going to be that DNQ all-rounder for Czechia here in that slot. Moving on next to another roster in a bit of a rebuilding year. It's going to be up in Denmark, losing IMville, Citysnap, these a couple players there from their OWC roster, but gaining back the Gloomist, who is the name I recognize. Unfortunately, I think this is another all-around DNQ situation, question mark?
I have some insider
Yeah.
info. Fuzzy Paws, he has like basically RSI.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh.
no.
So, like
Oh.
on top of everything, you know, their tapping player can't tap. It's just a pretty rough situation for Denmark.
That is-
brutal.
that is unfortunate.
Bon voyages to Denmark. Unfortunately, another DNQ here for the sake of time. But we'll call it a rebuilding year. Excited to see them play a little bit more community tournaments. We're gonna keep it moving along. Over to Egypt, coming in for a first timer here. It's gonna be Fufo and Fan players that I recognize out of this roster. I am unsure how. I don't think this is a qualifying team, but it is a team I am excited to see play regardless.
Listen, okay, we've talked about some of these teams that make it into group stage based off like one person who can basically just carry them on a couple of maps. Fufo is that character for Egypt. Fufo is like such a crazy, insane player. And I will be glazing them, and no, you cannot stop me. DNQ is most likely, but I'm throwing him in group stage. I am a strong believer in Egypt this year.
They have 6 players.
And
sure?
you know what? No. Listen, and I see that, and I understand that. However, Fufo, okay?
Fufo.
This guy is good. This guy is really good.
My question, I mean, is Fufo gonna be enough? Because, I mean, Fufo Fan, I mean, I suppose they're pretty decent. I remember Fufo having, like, pretty alright showings and Planet also beat down last year, but then there's the rest who I'm just not too familiar with. Roasted, you might be a bit of a tournament rookie, or I mean, as far as I know, they've only played like OWC tryouts a year ago, and then not sure if Whitecat, like Millie or Medu, have been like the most active this year. So it's another case of like they have a solid player or two, and then the rest is a question mark that I don't know if I'm willing to bet on.
I was wondering where Shado was during this, but not only is he a 3-digit now, #1 Egypt, but his banner is just "Help me escape Egypt." So, you know, I suppose my questions are answered by that. So, it's gonna be that DNQ all around. Unfortunately for Egypt, it's just that block of Europe where we're gonna be seeing a lot of it. Egypt with the DNQ, but first timers, excited to see them play. Speaking of first timers, another one here for Estonia, coming through with a full 8-player roster. Looking at players like Anseth, like Mega Hello, like Evil Gamings. These are players coming straight out of 5-digit, and specifically with their captain Evil Gamings, I think their control, like they have one of the better control rosters in the tournament in a weird way. Like this is a very shocking roster to me.
I mean, that's aim control head and host, you know? Surely
aim
you gotta be able to play aim control.
He pulled down.
Nah, but shout out Evil Gaming, he just won a badge in 5-digit. He's hyped. I think
these are some good players. I'm sorry to cut you off there.
No, don't worry. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know half of these players, but like the half I know, Evil Gaming's, Ansynth, Mega Hello. I've seen also Tom X around, if I recall correctly. I think that's enough maybe to get top 40. I don't think they make it past group stage if they make it. But I want to believe. I want to be a believer. I'm going to put a group stage here.
I'm going to be the hater here.
That's crazy.
No.
But also valid.
I don't think putting a lot of responsibility on someone who just came out of 5-digit tournaments, who is not super experienced at the open rank or 4-digit level.
I look agree.
Yeah.
Like to qualify for 4WC where there's like insane competition with much more experienced players. I've seen good things from like Evil Games in particular, but the experience at the rank range I think is too much of a mountain to climb for them.
You may have seen I'm the only one who had them out of group stage.
No. I changed mine at the last second. I had them at 32.
Oh, I see the issue. But I think they are 32. I think it's a bit of a skill cap issue because their core players can play everything but hidden, and their outside players are going to be filling in for that tapping. I think this is a very strong no-mod roster in particular. Like they're going to be picking a lot of tapping. They're going to be picking a lot of no-mod control. Very strong ult and tech. I think this is a solid, like, for a group stage where those are the most popular maps. This is a team that can shine. I see Estonia making out of that group stage. The question is if they can have enough skill cap to qualify. It's like qualifier or top 32 for this roster, and I think the overall here is going to be group stage probably with the double group stage top 32, but Estonia for a first year look pretty solid in this 4WC, all things considered, given other first year teams. So that's going to be that group stage overall for them. And moving on to another more established roster in Finland with some pretty big switch outs, but improvements nevertheless. Is mind-blowing. Kalanlu just got Mayuri out to the wayside, but what they're getting in Jujep, Tableti, Turkis, and Yimi, those are upgrades in my head. This is a roster I enjoy quite a bit, and a roster I'm going to put in that top 12 bracket. I think Turkis is phenomenal. I think Tableti is going to crush Hiddens up into a finals stage if they even get there. And Jujep, the tech skill cap on display, this is a Finland where they always find a way to get skill capped, and I just don't see that as a reality this year with all the upgrades this team does and all the community tournaments they play.
I'm gonna say it's impossible for them to get less than top 16. I wanted so bad before 4WC regs ended. I was such a believer in top 8 if they had Zeppe. But no Zeppe, it's kinda but their roster is so good, they have so much experience. Like every community tournament, you're gonna see Nation, and you're gonna see Evert, MQ, Turkis, House, Tableti. Like these are all established players who are like, you know, their nerves are rock solid. They're all super good in their respective skill sets, and like they literally don't have any weaknesses. I mean, Yimi is an up-and-coming player who's improving a lot from what insider info has told me. Maybe they're not super solid on like regular mechanics, but like anything else, they're super good. Alt, tech, hard rock, hidden, aim. I think top 16 is fair for this team.
I love Finland. Nation.
I love Nation as well.
They have the power of friendship. Respect, honestly, to Turkis. Like, I played a tourney with him like pretty much 1 year ago, like a Suiji. I wasn't too familiar with him back then. I am for sure familiar with him now. He has improved a lot. He is so good at like tapping and overall mechanics. I think he's like such a big addition to this team.
Gabbers, explain yourself.
Yeah, what's going on there?
All right, I don't know. Like I kind of already made like my own list of teams who I imagine who's gonna be like where they're gonna place, and I don't know. Like on paper, they have Jujep who's there to kind of fill in the shoes for Kalanlu. Turkis is a big addition to stabilize their mechanics. They kept Savile Jude, they kept Evert, and those players are very strong in my mind. But I don't know. It just to me, I have an idea of like what like top 13 to 16 is gonna be, like what 9th 12 is gonna be. Like those teams, I already have them set there, and I don't know, like I can easily see them making it to like higher placements, 16th 12th, maybe even finals if something, or semifinals if something happens. But I have other teams put above them, so that's just gonna be me on a tangent there.
I think you're like a little bit mixed up with skill sets. I think the Kalanlu replacement is more to Bledi with regards to like hidden filling and comfort there. Jujep, I see more as like all-round 4th player for this team on anything not hidden. Actually, like is gonna be. Jujep is one of those ones who like just does not play very many sort of like similar level of aura as like a Hello Tom Lowell. Lives in the same realm of like you see them on solo leaderboards, you don't see them play many tournaments, but when they show up they do. And that's why I have them in that top 12 bracket. This is a Finland that I'm very excited to see in this tournament. But yeah, big ups to Finland there. It's going to be a top 16 overall for the Finnish roster. Moving on down to France, getting into the weeds of Germany now with some big changes in a way that has maybe a bit of question marks. It's first off, Musty, respect to the GOAT, down in 4-digit once again. But Adrian, Lexall, Red Munch, and Traz in place of Nessie, Flavin, Kalangi, and Casey Aqua. I think Kalangi is a pretty big loss this year alongside John My Mommy.
Yeah, it's just some big losses, I feel like, for France, and they came top 12 in last year, and you do get Musty, right? Musty, an old head in the Osu tournament scene. I feel like everybody has heard of this player if you've been playing like any tournaments ever. But it's just you're losing Kalengi, you're losing Flavin, you're losing Nessie, Zhao My Mommy, even like these are some like core players for France, and it's still going to be a solid team. You're picking up Red Munch, who I have seen on a lot of leaderboards. Not too familiar with them outside of that, but yeah, just overall, I think this team can make top 16. Actually, more likely, I'm actually going to put them top 24, which might be kind of crazy, but it just. You are losing so many solid players, and Musty is performing well. Don't get me wrong, Musty has been doing very solid, but yeah, just not so sure about the rest of them.
What could have been of this roster if Ikoro signed up? He was like rank 997 when Regs ended.
Actually,
Oh my god, wait, really?
wow.
Yeah. What could have been? That would be so fun. But I think this roster is still really good. I don't agree with the top 24. I think like Adrian is so good. He's gonna see every stamina pick, every DT2. There's like no doubt in my mind. They got some like really good hard rock players. Red Munch is really good on hard rock. Lexall is just pretty good all-rounder. And like we can't forget that Musty, FIA, and Mites JD, they're like the premier of 1K plus players, Like, it doesn't get much better than that, We're talking about crystals and Gauhaus if we want to get better than that. So I think this, I don't agree with top 24. I think they have the scaling and they have the skill sets covered to get at least top 16. This is one of the rosters I'm looking at to get top 12.
Yeah, I'm putting them at top 16 as well. I think that they're... I suppose the question is just like the players that they lost. Like this roster would be like phenomenal everywhere had they had them. Like Drixarda is just not 4-digit anymore. I think is the reason why he's not playing. Like has 6 badges. Yeah, has 6 badges to his name, is ranked 12k. Like, come on, dude. Farm a couple 500s, get up here. Kalangi dropping out, I think, is just like maybe motivation related, but this is a French team that I think like is going to be Fie, Mize, and Musty in for every other skill set that isn't mechanics. So you're relying very heavily on those 3 players to perform every single time, with their 4th, whomever it may be, like probably Lexall for a lot of these picks, but. This is a France team that I think is just a slight downgrade.
I want to add that I think just saying that Adrian will like play the tapping and stuff, I don't think it's like entirely accurate. I've seen him pull up like on a lot of different skill sets nowadays. Also, I think that France's placements have always been bound to like some sort of motivational issues when they could have been like so much more, and I think Mize being the captain this year might help a lot with that, so I think they can get further than that. But I think top 16 is like the safe choice for me personally, but they could in theory make top 12, I think.
Yeah, so it does seem like a top 16 overall for France. Big ups to the French roster this year. Good luck to them. Moving on over to Germany, who unfortunately fell off pretty early last year due to a Cinderella story. It was plot armor, unfortunately, for that other roster, but Germany looking to come back after that number 2 seed last year, top 12 overall. Stellasu, take it away, Captain.
Yeah, I am looking forward to this for WC. I think we did a very important thing with getting quote-unquote rid of a lot of the old players and looking for people who are very motivated and who want to play the game and want to compete at a very high level. I think Vin not being on the team last year was very controversial, but he is here now. Lion is better than ever before. We got Monkey Chiro coming out from like 5WC, very motivated to play. We got people we have never seen before in like other tournaments with Chocolate. I think motivationally we are much better set up than last year, and I think we could make the same placement as we did last year. So I'm gonna put us at top 12.
That feels too humble. I feel like I think you guys are definitely a lot stronger than maybe you're giving yourself. And I know the top eight's already filled, but I am gonna put you guys top 8 because I'm looking at the players coming in here: Monkey Chiro, Martin Yushner, Lydia, X3 Lydia. Like, these are really solid pickups on top of already you having, of course, yourself, Stella, and Leon and Minoji. Like, this team is really good. I think Germany is a very solid team here, and I do think that you guys will outperform maybe your own expectations.
Yeah, I mean this is a good roster, but I don't agree on the top 8. I mean, I see the division with top 12 just because, like those good players are really good, and also because of the player base being like so big. Like the players who are like filling are just gonna be straight up better than like maybe people who are filling for other countries. Like X3 Lydia is really good, especially like precision and aim consistency in general. Monkey Chiro just came out of 10k plus, and he was one of the better players in 10k plus, definitely. Chocolate, no idea. I saw the tryout scores and they were good. Up to, I don't know, like, it's up to Stellazu, Vin, Shrek, Lion. I think they're about as good as France, not gonna lie. So I'm giving top 16, but I'm open to being surprised and seeing a top 12 or top 8.
I think top 12 is like a solid sweet spot that I'd expect this team to finish at least on, because I mean there's just a lot of competition that I'm expecting to see like get into the top 8 spot. But I mean top 12, 9th, 12 is very solid for this roster. I mean Stella and Lion, I would assume you two would be leading the charge. You guys got very, very good like improvements in your roster, or very, very solid like additions in having Vin there, and Mankichiro, Lydia performing quite well in their respective tournaments. I'm interested to see how Shock Latte, who, if I'm not wrong, I believe they are coming in to be playing for the tapping, a new spawn, I believe. But
I think they're coming
yeah.
to play AIM, not gonna lie.
Oh, AIM. Alright.
Yeah.
Well, AIM
I mean,
tapping
Stellazu
mechanics.
can tell us.
You will see. He's
It's a
a
surprise?
pickup. He's a pickup for sure. He's a bit of a surprise.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, I
Not gonna
am-
reveal it.
I'm hoping to be surprised. Like, these are good players. Stella, Lion, Vin, and especially Shrek, who I know has been like having a very, very solid like improvement arc for the past year. So I am excited to see this team. I think 9th, 12th is a good placement for them, and they have very strong potential to go even further, in my opinion.
Top 12, no Frost skill cap question mark. That is all. I think it's
fair.
sad. I think it's sad. I like Cyfrost. But I understand the motivation woes with a number of these switch outs. So excited to see a more motivated Germany this time round. Moving on over to Greece up next. Going to be no Naked this year and no My Aim Peeps, but they are getting Scrouts, who of course the spasm moderator of all time, and keeping up with Trush Pack and Lefty, some of those core players for Greece. Unfortunately, I think with the upgrades that Naked made, being up in 3-digit now, I think this is just another Greece DNQ year, I do fear.
Yeah, but not gonna lie, watch out for these Greek players. Like, I agree, it's a DNQ angle, also because their time zones are so trash. Also, it's the same in OWC, like, these are all OWC players, and I have to hear Jackpacks and Puyo talk about it to me. So I can tell you, Lefty lives in Japan, and Bisbo Gerardway, he lives in San Diego. So they have, like, a minus 7
What
and
is
a
the
plus 12 in
scheduling?
their team. Yeah, the scheduling doesn't exist.
15
But
Newtons.
I'm gonna say, out of all these players, watch out for Seekoj. Like, Seekoj, he's legit gonna be a huge surprise in OWC. So watch out for him here in 4WC quals. You know, he might like he's gonna be one of the core players in OWC. That's all I'm gonna say.
Listen. Okay, this team has Gerard Way, all right, the lead singer for the acclaimed band My Chemical Romance. Now, because of that, I do feel like they are just going to be a 7-man roster because he's going to be too locked in on the whole music side of things. So you can't really blame them. But no, yeah, this team I feel like it's just DNQ, unfortunately. You know, it should be a decently high placement for them, but I just don't think they make it into groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a certified best of luck to Greece here, going through their roster changes and still, like, overall as a country being more active year over year off of the face of Jackpax and Puyu, I think is always good. So shout outs to Greece. It's going to be a DNQ though. Moving on to Hungary, another team that similar issue with regards to qualifier placement, and especially losing Glasswave, who I believe was one of their all-rounders, and Bali, actually, both very hard losses for Hungary. I think I remain similar boat with regards to this team as well with the DNQs. If anyone has any anecdotes, feel free to shout, but I think this is just a full DNQ angle probably.
No,
Yeah,
I agree.
losing Bali is rough.
Yeah.
Just
It's
somehow-
kind of rough. I mean, Gex's body staying is like pretty good. Like the solid form lobby that you could expect to put up a decent score on a lot of maps, but have the retained players improved well from last year? I'm not sure how active Kaito Japan leaks are, and I believe Off Roby has been playing a lot like this year in particular, but not on higher SR stuff. So qualifiers scaling wise might be a bit of a struggle.
Yeah. It seems like overall the new players are a bit more motivated, so that much I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Magor, who is a great player in their own right, play for this roster, but it is just going to be the DNQ all the way around for Hungary. In the name of time, we'll be keeping it quick there. Shout outs to them, best of luck to them. And speaking of newer rosters, this is
Ooh.
a full swap out for Ireland, who also DNQ'd last year, but lose Ophiz in the face of a fully new roster here, and still no why am I blanking on his name? Still no Knight. Where's Knight at, guys? Like, an unfortunate Irish roster for me. I'm also putting them DNQ.
Yeah, no Office, no Rubik. That's just a DNQ.
Yeah.
It's a heavy blow to lose those players.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's also some question marks as well with a lot of these new faces coming in. I feel like this is going to be one of the rougher years for Ireland, unfortunately.
Ain't that just the way? It always feels like there's a little bit of motivation woes there with Ireland year over year with their rosters. So heavy hit there, gonna be DNQ. Moving right along to another, I believe a returning team after many years is going to be Israel, hopping back in after missing a few years with actually a pretty solid roster, right? I mean, you have Chip, you have Painted Koala, you have Clash of Clans remaining captain after those years, Accelerator back in the fold. I mean, Silver's 4-digit these days, might as well bring him back. This is a surprisingly strong Israel roster that I think are in a similar boat to Estonia skill set wise in my head, where like this is a very solid control team, not as much prowess on some of the mods, but I think can pull off some pretty heater matches in that group stage.
I don't know. I'm just a believer in this team. I think they make it out of groups. Maybe I'm too hopeful for some of these teams, you know, just given that I've always been like one tier above most of the rest for the most part. But I see Painted Koala in, and I'm like, this dude will go kind of crazy here for Israel. But it is you know, kind of some question marks here. Really don't have too much else to go off of other than just knowing how the rest of the players play. Chip coming in is also a good one for them as well. So I do think that like these could be some potentials for making it out of groups, but yeah, most likely just going to be groups. But I'm airing more towards top 32.
I think Chip was like a previous like staple in their old 3WC and OWC roster, so having them for the team is, I think, plays to their benefit for sure. I'm kind of leaning towards DNQ side, but I think there's a potential for them to squeak like into groups at least or at most.
Honestly, I'm gonna change mine looking at this roster and comparing it to others. If this is a more motivated Israel roster, which they're returning after a few years, one has to imagine that Clash of Clans leading the charge is going to be keeping everybody up to date. I think this is an exciting roster. I'm going to move them to top 32 as well. I think they have more than enough consistency in comparison to some of the other teams we put there to really make a name for themselves in this 4WC.
Yeah. Group stage, it looks like.
Groups overall, though, going to be that 3 there. Group stage almost filled up, though, fellas. We gotta keep things.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Is keeping things a little scary there as we go on to it's Knicks. It's Italy. Shout outs to Italy after the DNQ last year. This is a very top heavy roster in terms of previous years, but I'm excited to see some of these players. Bellafigo, Guido, Knicks remaining in alongside Mark VC as a player. I'm specifically excited to play for these matches. So Knicks, take it away. It's your team.
I mean, Bellafigo, he literally FC'd no mod 4 in OWC qualifiers. If he doesn't get schedule cooked because of work, he's gonna be one of the best players in the tournament. It's just that unfortunate that he works like a lot of weekends, so he can't really play international tournaments. Guido is he's really consistent. He got meowed to TB in Italy LAN last year. So like, especially on low SR, if you like on group stage, I have so much faith on Guido to like FC those no mod 1s, no mod 2s, hard rock 1s. Then basically we have a huge change of names. A lot of these old players weren't as motivated, you know, Hilbusted Poppin, Kokos, BGM16 is Namai. But all these new players are super motivated. Rejax, I just saw him getting an A rank on Crimsonic Dimensions, so and there's not much to add there. Lorariv, he's one of the better 10k plus tournament players. He ranked up just to play this and is going to go down. There are some questions about skill cap, but I mean, I think he's gonna play well his skill sets. Then Jono S is one of the, like, he's basically the Italian prodigy, but he's barely been shown outside of Italy, so that's a big question mark as well. Mark VC, as you said, is also a big question mark. He played in OWC, but he didn't really have a chance to shine. He was just like the 5th player on most skill sets. And then Shirkle's coming from Malta. He's just the hidden guy, you know, there's not much to say. Hopefully he performs well. And I mean, yeah, there's Nyx. Even though there's like no arrow showing that there's a change in roster, I literally played 0 maps last year because I couldn't show up to qualifiers. And either way, I would have been just a 4th on like DT1 and Nomad 1. And now I think I'm perma lobby, and yeah, I think we like realistically, if I weren't Italian, I would be putting top 32. But I think we have what it takes to get an upset outside of top 32 and outplace OWC and make it top 24. But that's my hot take.
I'm leaning more towards top 32. I think you guys are a strong team. Especially with some of the switch-ins, and there are those question marks. But yeah, this is a exciting team for Italy. I'm actually really interested to see how you guys fare. You for sure make it out of groups though, easily.
Come on, Hoba. You don't have faith in me.
I am perplexed immediately after the Israel roster, which I think is just a little better going in groups. Like, I think this is like for sure the 8th groups team. I don't know. There's too many question marks. It's too many gambles. I mean, there's a couple that could pay off, but there's a lot of unknowns with this roster. I don't really. I see you guys qualifying for the first time in a while. I don't know if I see making it out of groups, but I am the outlier. Top 32 overall seems to be the play here for 5th one there in that top 32 roster. Big ups to Italy for the upgrades. And moving right along to another formerly DNQ team, maybe to show up this time around. It's going to be Latvia with some a little bit of a hit in the loss of Useless John, but a big gain in Murzik and Single Dad hopping in the roster. I know them a bit more from those community tournaments, playing alongside Day Drinking. Merzik, a player I've played with in the past as well, I think can be a solid all-rounder for this team. Former 3-digit, if de-rusted properly, will be a solid pickup for Latvia that I think can bring them to group stage, maybe.
They're making it to group stage. I think they lack the roster depth to make it out of groups, you know? They don't have the third and the fourth to consistently FC maps. But I think that, you know, Hihihaha, he's the GOAT. Not much to say. Merzik is a really good addition. And even without Merzik, the previous years, they were making like 33rd, 34th, 35th. Surely they qualify with this addition.
I'm gonna go on a tangent here and maybe I'm gonna put a DNQ. Like I like Hihihaha and Merzik. I think they're like the solid players on that team. I'm not sure how active Single Dad is right now, and I'm not the most familiar on the rest of their team. So if the rest of the roster can like match up to their best players, then I think they'll definitely be able to make it to at least groups. But consistency-wise, I'm leaning more towards a DNQ.
Latvia is always such a big what-if team for me personally. Like not just for WC, like also old WC when they announced like top 40 teams qualifying, I was like struggling a lot with, do I put Latvia in my pick'ems? Do they qualify? I was like so hopeful for them because I always see them as like one of the lower teams qualifying, but like I don't know. I'm just so unsure. It's such a what if for me. I don't know. It's like
yeah. I should
So many question
to be
marks.
honest. If he goes out drinking the day before qualifiers, I'm putting them
legit.
DQ. But if he isn't going out drinking, I'm putting them the group stage.
It's the same thing with like the UK, right? Like sometimes they self-sabotage by going to the bar the day before and then they like, show up to their OWC match all groggy. Like, you know, it's one of those things. I'm actually gonna swap them to DNQ only because I'm not sure how warm Merzik is, and this team is very reliant on him. So it's gonna be that DNQ all-rounder. After some deliberation there for us, Latvia. Excited to see you play. Hope for the best, but a bit of a consistency was there for qualifying questions. Up over to Lithuania, who are going to be returning after the DNQ last year as well, and unfortunately some big hits on this roster as well. Darnix, a player with insane improvement, massive improvement, a very underrated tournament player there, especially in 1v1s. But losing Dazq in volleyball feels like you're losing a bit of variance in the face of one very strong carry player. I'm excited to see his individual qualifier performance, but other than that, this is a roster I don't think has enough juice in them to qualify.
Agreed, Habam.
Yeah, seems like that's going to be the play all around, unfortunately, for Lithuania. They're going to be a DNQ for them. And moving on up to a team that qualified and unfortunately did not win a match last year, but it's going to be very solid going up. It's going to be the Netherlands. They are down Wessel Osu 2, which is a very unfortunate hit for a fan of veterans. But they're going to be getting Ollie Fanton in the fray here in place of him. And of course, you look at the rest of this roster, you see massive improvements from every one of these players. Pot John Nutella, Knight, Dracoria, John Ethken, and Burning John, formerly known as Manivat, all players that you see very consistent in these lineups. And this is a team I think can pull through with some top 24 action. The DNQ up top is crazy, Nix. Please elaborate.
Nah, bro, I'm a hater. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trolling with Elias and Knight. But I think, yeah, it's just a top 24. There's not much to say. There's potential for them to make it past it because their core players are so good in skill cap. Like Knight, John Ethken, Manyavat a bit less so, but UC2 especially on his skill sets. They're so good at what they play, but I have a lot of doubts in like getting a full roster of players that are super confident. And I also have a big doubt on UC2. Like, will UC2 only be playing easy because of Easy World Cup? That's something that's in my mind. And I think that will be the case. So that's why I'm putting them top 24.
I mean, it's like, is Podge Nutella? It's King Gals though.
It's not them. It's Stalker.
Oh, it's not Podge
Stalker.
Nutella.
No.
I'm being
It's so
lost.
confusing.
It's a different
Okay.
Nutella. It's a different
Either
Nutella.
way,
Yeah.
There's so
either
many
way,
Johns.
Why are there so many Johns? What's going on here? It's Gingalzo. It's John Ethken. These two, I think, are just tourney veterans in their own rights. It's top 24. It's not even close. It's top 24 easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a little bit of skill cap questions for this roster. And to your point, John Nutella, you may recognize from their former name, Dolter, very solid European player.
Yeah. Just the
Dolter,
renames into almost Podge Nutella. That's fine.
Not gonna lie, it's pretty sad though that Podge and Nutella didn't rank up. But it is what it is. Podge and Nutella would have been a really solid addition for hidden and tapping.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, top 24. Pretty good for them. Norway.
Okay, Norway roster coming through with just one change. It's Marcus for Bomas. Everyone else, it's still the core. It's still the boys back in town for Yokes, Anthony W, Mr. Wang, Reed Horimiya, Ole. I mean, I think in a climate where so many teams are improving, my question is, can this team still hold up? And I think it's a little bit less this year, because they are such a gimmick forward roster. They are such a pick control, pick offset skill sets roster. I think so. There are so many teams with strong mechanics this year that they cannot afford to not find enough new blood. So I'm with the crew on this one with the top 24 so far in those placements.
In my mind, I don't know if this is right. I might just be a hater, but I think this team has just sort of plateaued the last couple years, while other teams were improving a ton. I think Yolkspy is always solid. Anthony W is always the GOAT. I love Anthony W. But like, also like Reed has improved a lot during the past year. But I think like overall the changes other teams made and like the amount of tournaments players from other countries play and like how they improve, I feel like is like overshadowing this team a lot. So
Watch out,
I
Mr.
don't
Wang,
think they
though.
can. Yeah, I don't think they can make the top 16 again. I think top 24 is still super solid, and I think that's where they're going to end up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a believer. I don't know. Like, Yokes Anthony, the duo that I think is gonna do some really heavy hits like in this bracket. And Reed Horimiya, as you mentioned, I think they've gone a long way in becoming very, very well rounded. And I don't think their mechanics are too bad. I think Wang, Oe, and Oloke are gonna be helping them out in that endeavor. So they're very much gonna be relying on their control and gimmick especially. But I mean, they got a couple of breakpoints on maybe like a DT map on a Nomad or a Nomad to Nomad one, and I mean they could still win some matches in quarters. I'd say, like, I think the consistency is there, and I think top 16 is possible.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Brazil last year, you know? Like, they can definitely punch above their weight.
Magic can happen. I believe in the magic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
about having the right map pool, I think. Like, if the map pool is really tech-oriented, gimmick-oriented, I think they can actually upset top 12 teams. But if it isn't, they're just gonna lose against even like some mediocre teams.
Yeah, I do agree there. So it seems like the top 24 overall for this roster, moving right alongside Singapore and Thailand and the Netherlands. For Norway, gonna be moving right along over to a big one. A former podium placer here in Poland. It's gonna be no more Bad Aim Boy, no more Kuba, Have, Sedis, and Yera. But what they are getting in return is Faiga, is Godzilla coming back into the frame. Masipals, Nerby, and Tefik. I mean, I'm already seeing some champions in some second places. Feel free to take it away.
Bro,
The
if Have was here,
Phantom
bro,
Lord.
if
If Have was
Have
here,
or
oh my,
Shedis were
Have
here, it
Shedis.
would have been such a
They would have
free
been
win.
so
It would be
unanimously
so free,
the best.
so free, yeah.
I
They
think
my
had to give
God.
us a chance, you know? They had to give way to the spectacle.
at this point, seeing how he has been playing, I don't think it's a super hot take for me to just say Squirm is probably the best player in the tournament, in my
for
opinion. But
Experiment
there's
with
like this
Wolfram.
other team, and I was like really in between those two, and I'm like, it's so 50-50 for me. I just think that the winning contender in my mind has the slight edge over this team, but they can for sure win if they lock in. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, this team has a glaring weakness, you know? It's sounding alarms. We want. It's DT and tapping, you know? It's mechanics. But, you know, you gotta trust Tefek, Nerby, Faiga. I think even though they have this glaring issue with mechanics, and I don't think they scale that well in mechanics, and I think that all the other contenders will beat them on like DT2s, DT3s, Nomad 2s, Nomad 5s. I think on top of that, their hard rock, their tech, their aim roster are so good. Their free mod roster are so good that they're gonna win regardless.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking of the contrary, that they're not that bad on mechanics. You mentioned like the players that I was thinking of, like Tefek Narvi, Nasipos. I think Faiga is gonna be really good for them, playing a lot of the maps. And I mean, Stella said it herself, like Square probably the best player in the tournament, and that's just because he's not just like tech and aim. He can play a lot more things, and he has grown to be such a very well-rounded like player on mechanics overall. Is he top tier stamina or like speed? Maybe not really, but he can scale, and I think that's gonna play to their benefit, you know, like allowing this team to be a lot more well-rounded towards those more intensive high BPM stuff. It's like I have a lot of faith in this roster, man. Like, despite the losses with, you know, the big heavy hitters from last year in Shedis and they have the Phantom Lord, they have the King of Monsters right there, finally playing. I don't know why the hell he wasn't here last year, but there he is now. And I mean, Agent's still playing, and you know, Asriel there.
Did you see Mazipal's improvement, bro? Did you see how good Mazipal's became on hard rock, on precision?
Yeah.
He's so good.
Like, I have a lot of faith. I think this is the team to beat, and I think they have the potential to, you know, follow in their open rank brothers' footsteps and win this tournament, like, for this year.
Why are you edging us? Exactly. Come on, put that second.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to say. The top three teams in my mind are like so solid that any one of them could be first place at any given point. Like, they are just really, really good teams, and Poland is easily a podium finisher for me. I feel like I don't know. Like, I want this team to overperform my expectations, but I feel like they might just fall short at the end, potentially, just because some of the other podium finisher teams in my mind are just very, very strong as well, especially when it comes to the later stages. So I am going to put them third. I'm going to be the hater, I guess, of the group, but I think this is a phenomenal team. Very easily could just win it outright.
Yeah, this is a. I don't know. Because I think this is second place only to one other country, and that other country also has a fully new roster this year that is untested in World Cup nerves. I think Poland is second minimum. Like, unless something really crazy happens with who I think will have in third place team. But I think Poland second is a very confident pick. I think it's like probably bare minimum second for this roster. I think Squareum, as previously mentioned, just kind of mogs everybody else in this tournament, especially on aim. I'm very excited to see them continue to play through, especially Kosierek with the one Dario rank up. It's a little bit unfortunate for Canada, but Kosierik's still holding true. That it feels like they came up at sort of the same time. For a second overall, I believe, for all of us, with the two champions, 2 second places, 1 third, I think leads us to a second place finish for Poland. Going to be in that top 4 for them, but in the top spot of that top 4, it would seem. Moving right along now. I wonder about those sheet delays. Okay, we should be good now. Post Poland, it's going to be Portugal up next, with a big roster change here, losing out on Kenzel, JP, Seko, but they're getting Seat, Ibiza, TZI back again. a player who took a little bit of a break last year. Unfortunately, it was DNQ then, and I am feeling similar that it will remain DNQ now, despite getting back C to Visa.
Yeah, this is probably just gonna be a DNQ, unfortunately. I think Portugal just generally doesn't have that much of an active player base, so it is going to probably be just them, coming out and performing their best, but unfortunately just not quite meeting the requirements to be able to make it into the group stage.
Yeah, seems like the DNQs all around for Portugal. Unfortunately, they're a bit stronger in 5-digit and the likes, but the scaling a little bit higher up, not going to be there for Portugal. Moving on to another country, again, a more tournament ingrained country in Romania, who, oh boy.
Oh my god.
This
Oh.
hurts.
Something
Oh.
happened.
The 3-digit bug caught a lot of these guys, huh?
Where did they all go?
And it wasn't by mistake, I know, like pregnancy, for example. He was initially gonna play, but he saw the situation and he just dipped. He ranked up. He choked Yomiuri. He said, "Bro, I'm not playing this 4WC."
That's crazy.
I think it's a similar thing with Kahest, who I think it's not a stretch to say is like probably one of the top 5 players in 4-digit for me in 1v1 tournaments. Like a very, very strong player, and Romania's carry year over year alongside Origin, I think is a big hit to this roster. Motivation wise, I think this is a team. I think this is our 8th group stage team, guys. Like, I hate to do it, but like, it feels like the motivation isn't there. It feels like they lost so much heat in players. I think this is our 8th group stager.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's hard to say, even because like as you said, motivation is a big key, but also you're taking a lot of hits with some of your main names here. Pregnancy and Kahes both gonna be dropping out for some new players, and in all honesty, I do think this team has what it takes to make groups. I'm still looking at the rest of the teams that are available, which there really isn't that many. I think there's like 18 left. I do think that there is one other team that I feel like just outperforms Romania here and would be better in group stage. But yeah, just for the sake of things, I think this is just a group stage placement here for Romania.
Yeah, full agree. Bro, heavy shout out to Robotonic. I think he would have made the roster last year if he were 4-digit. He deranked from 3-digit. He played 3WC, if I'm not mistaken. He's really good. He's I don't want to sound too harsh, but I think that's the only positive addition to the roster. Everything else kind of just got worse, Alex Belay isn't as active as before, and I don't really know the rest of the players.
Because it seems like honestly, I thought Robotonic was a returning player, as you mentioned, like a very common World Cup staple for Romania and other ones. I think in Robotonic and Alex Balia, they're gonna have some really strong aim. They're gonna have really good DTs. They're gonna have some solid HR1. They're gonna have some solid Nomad 1, Nomad 2 situation. But what team doesn't, right? You're, in terms of gimmick, in terms of a lot of skill sets for this team, you are not seeing a lot of variance, and you're seeing a lot of hard carries from players who are completely new to the World Cup stage, and that's a bit unfortunate here. So going to be that group stage overall for Romania, treating us to a fully kitted out group stage tab, so no more players or no more teams that we could put up in that slot from here on out. And moving right along to another R1, it is the Russian Federation here. It is Antonar. It is Delete, Garabik, Markram back in the fold after taking a break to the military service last year. Shadever, Suzuha, Homura. This is just an upgrade, right? This feels like a very, very good Russian roster, especially Antonar, Dahuchka, Garabik, Delete on mechanics. That is a phenomenal core. The Markram Shadever on those hidden 2s. This is a pretty pure upgrade to me, and I'm going to be placing them in the top 8 alongside you guys.
Hubba. Reminder that Homura is Vlados, however you pronounce it.
Yes.
Yeah, Vlados,
Ah.
the WC player who
Ah.
was like stomping everyone.
Yeah,
Like,
this
this
oh.
roster is so good. This roster is so good.
I'm especially surprised seeing Markram being on the team.
Yeah.
I thought he wasn't as active anymore, and then I just get jump scared by Markram being on the 4WC roster. Like, what? Where did he come from? Also, Suzuha, Ang still got it. I saw the tryouts on their pool. Like, I saw the tapping tryouts for Suzuha. He is still completely mogging really, really tough tapping maps. Like, it's nothing. I think this team can go far.
I think
Listen.
this team makes top 8, but I think this is the most well-rounded top 8 team there is. Like, I think this team, they could potentially not ban a single map and be fine. I just think that they lack that top-heavy carry performances compared to other top 8 teams. I know Homura, he can carry, you know, he's really good. Antanar is really consistent. Like, they are all really consistent, really good. I just think they lack a little bit more to make it past top 8.
It just
Yeah.
I mean this is a top 8 team, but like you look at the other teams that we've placed in top 8 and like
That's the thing.
This is
who
better than
are we
Indonesia.
moving
This is better than
out for
Indonesia.
them?
This is better than Indonesia.
I am
100%.
Yeah,
so-
that's what I'm
Really?
thinking as well.
saying. That is what I'm saying, Tom.
That's what I think
Yeah.
as well. I think Indonesia should be moved down to top 12.
It-
In
it
place of
was
Russia.
The early prediction excitement, yeah, I think that's not a bad idea to move it. Normally we do those movements at the end, but we'll for the sake of convenience do it here, just because it's such a concise top 8. Gabbers, I want to. Oh no, you changed it. Never mind.
I mean,
We're good.
Like, my only real thoughts really were like, this team has a lot of depth and skill sets. Dahushka, Delete, Garbic, and Shade are players that I'm particularly looking at to be very reliable for this team. But at the same time, I don't in my head, like, I had like top 8 kind of thought out. Like, I don't see Australia being outside there. I don't see South Korea being outside there. China as well. Indonesia, I think, is a fair trade now that I think about it, I suppose. I think there is a point that if they're gonna have that heavy hitter, like hyper carry that can push them ahead of the line, but I mean, consistent and well-rounded. So I mean, fair enough. I'll join the pack.
Yeah, that's fair. So let's give you that Russia top 8 there. Hoping for some slight improvements from them this year in comparison to last. Moving on to a country that has had motivation hiccups in the past, and I actually have not seen the roster for this year, but in theory could be very good. It is going to be Saudi Arabia, and yep, it's as good as I was expecting. It's still Call Me Red, it's still 3B2, it's still Rakiria, Eyes Never Open, Osu Shala, which I am forgetting who that is name change wise, but I believe
Zestash.
is that Zestash? Okay, yeah,
it
this is a direct upgrade team in my head. I think this is a top 16er for sure.
I love
But everyone else disagrees with me, and that's okay.
well,
So-
no. Okay, so no, like, I think this is a higher top 24 team. I don't think they break into top 16, unfortunately. I think this team will perform quite well, but probably going to be in that 17 to 18 range for them. But yeah, this is a solid team. You're getting Osushala, you're getting Equidimensional, which is another player that I know has been performing quite well recently. You have Call Me Red and Rakiria. Those two alone should be enough to like put this team beyond top 32. So yeah, this is a very solid team.
What do you mean? Call Me Red and Requiria? Isn't the second guy Abdu 3BDO? That's the dynamic.
I mean, it's a core 3 to be
No,
fair.
but no. I'm just saying those two
Okay,
players
yeah.
are
Yeah.
exceptional players for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I think
And
this
of
is
course,
just a
all of
super
these
solid
players.
roster. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very solid core for the Saudi Arabia team that I think can do great things in this 4WC, pending that motivation issue. Practice up, guys. Don't slouch on us this time. Looking forward to our next roster. Unfortunately, one that DNQ'd last year and has made a little bit of changes. It's going to be Slovakia up next in our listing here. It's gonna be unfortunately losing Rafu X. I think seems solo play upgrades aren't gonna be enough to bring this team above the NQ once more, and it seems to be the consensus. Unfortunately, if anyone has any quick anecdotes, feel free to share. But
The thing is, they were like really, really close last year. I looked at the last qualifier results and they were like barely missing out on qualifying. But seeing how a lot of the teams have improved, and I think the threshold is like a little bit up higher, I think it's just gonna be DNQ. But I was like hoping for them to like be some sort of surprise.
Yeah, they almost qualled, but if I'm not mistaken, Rafael's got like top 15 individual.
yeah,
So yeah, like they almost qualled on the back of Rafael's. Now that they don't have him, it's kind of chopped from
It's
in
a
my
big
opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
unfortunate there for Slovakia. But going on to another S-European country looking to make a splash, especially after their showings in 3WC and OWC. It's going to be Spain, with some pretty big switch-ups and improvements in my eyes. Looking at players like Decory, Aguaquete, Borgier, and Dario hopping into the fold, and Captain Junamat, Escrupulio with their upgrades, Rumpel still staying on the team year after year. This is a Spain that I think is very, very solid, and I'm seeing top 24s again. I'm still putting them top 16. I think this is improvement, guys. I think this is
Yeah.
good.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I have doubts about motivation. And, you know, Escrupulio, he's
Yeah.
been dancing more than playing Osu. Dance Dance Revolution, that's been his thing recently. He's not really being that active in international tournaments. I mean, Decory is the go, you know, like not much to say. Aguacate, he's a super good up and coming player. He plays gimmick, he plays tapping. He's like bat ball reincarnation. Just give him like a year or two. I don't know, like I think I agree with top 24. It's a safe bet. There's not much to
It's-
say.
It's a safe bet. Like they have
Yeah.
good additions to their team, like the Kokate, who I'm looking at like as being some of their reliable or some of their better additions to the team. But at the same time, like I look at the current teams that they have in top 16 right now. I'm not too sure if they have they're gonna be too competitive enough to make it in past that past that line, I suppose. They kept Escrupulilo, which I think is a must for them. Junamet's still playing for them, but top 24 is probably the safest bet to put this team at. I'll be, personally, I think I'd be surprised to see them in top 16, but who knows? Maybe something will happen.
Believers rise up for Spain here.
Listen, I mean, I'm just seeing that baby Sila trade out, and that just hurts me to see
Yeah, it
that.
does.
Maybe if they have them in still, top 16 is more in question, but yeah, top 24 probably gonna be the most likely for them.
I don't disagree. I just think Decore, Aguaquete, it adds a little bit more variance to this roster by comparison. But speaking of rosters that may be taking hits due to changes in roster, looking at a team that got 4th last year, and
Oh, my
boy,
goodness.
the pain. The
It hurts.
old guard is gone. What has happened to Sweden?
What went wrong?
We finally got him out, guys.
Feel like an decay in time.
He's gone. Wow. No, this team's seen so many changes here. Only 3 players remaining in from previous years as Soik, Lightning Fox, and Melvin. And then you're seeing Sila go, you're seeing Gripe go, Couch, Blue, Bullhav. They're all leaving for some new names. And yeah, you get players like Ranyakumo and Heat Slash coming in. But it's just that's a huge hit to Sweden, and I would be surprised to see them go above top 16 here. I think this is a top 16 team.
Hey, I think this is the definition of a top 12 team. I think this is still a really solid core. I think Melwim is still phenomenal at Hard Rock. I think Mr. Nizo, Ran Yakumo are phenomenal at their skill sets. This is a very no-mod forward team, but I think they're still solid. They have a 3-man roster for everything. They can pull out them breakpoints. This is... while you do lose Scylla, which is your hard carry, you are gaining so many new players. This is just a reformation year, and I think they're still solid enough to get those dubs. I think this is top 12 for me, personally.
Oh,
I just
wow.
want to say,
Playing from top 12 to top 32 in this
I,
list.
I, s- I see jokes in the chat. I was about to say this. Niesel got second in the Swedish 1v1 tournament. He only got beat by Trumpetino. Niesel is like such a huge addition to this roster. I still think though that Skilla scaling was like so important for the later stages of 4WC last year that I'm very unsure about how they will go on in like the later stages of this tournament, because Skilla was the guy to like pop off on every map and like guarantee some score that will beat the other team for sure. But I do believe in like Mr. Niesel and like Swizzer coming out from 5-digit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a doubter. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know Unseen, Heat Slash. But, like, I'm looking at, Soik, Zvitsa, Mr. Niesel, Melwim, Lightning Fox. I mean, that's a really good team for, like, group stage, but do they scale? Like, can they beat some of these other, like, can they beat, like, Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, Netherlands, Kazakhstan? I'm not sure. I think that's a top 32 team for me. As good as Mr. Niesel has become. I don't know. I'm a doubter.
I think the only question mark of that list is like maybe Kazakhstan. I think this is a team that beats every other team on that list. I think they beat Japan. I think they beat Hong Kong. Like, I think scaling wise, this is just a better roster and a roster that is way more tenured in 4WC in specific. I think like motivation is such a big gain there. But seems like our average is going to be floating that top 24 for Sweden here, which is a 20 seed jump from their placement last year. So excited to see this reformation year. Excited to see new players do their thing for Sweden in 2026. But moving right along, gonna be another DNQ last year team, and one where it is unfortunately likely to stay the same given the roster changes at Switzerland. Big shout outs to Lord Curb, a player who will likely be the top performer for this team out of qualifiers, but I think they just do not have enough variants or players to make it beyond that DNQ. Seems like a full agreement here, unless anyone has some anecdotes.
No, yeah, no. I mean,
much.
you're losing some of the players that really helped Switzerland perform, like Akani, and so like yeah, you get Lord Curb, sure, but the rest of it's just question marks, and I feel like the quality of teams that would be able to qualify in this year is just so much higher than what the Switzerland team is putting up.
Yeah, so gonna be DNQ across the board for Switzerland, unfortunately, to fall to the wayside there. Moving on right along to another red country in terms of flag. It's gonna be Turkey coming back in a pretty big way with some new players there, keeping the core intact though with Shinkiro, Orke, Levi, Lyri, and Spray. I think this is one of like the bigger core carry teams in the tournament. Like Spray, Orke, Shinkiro, Levi are players that can just kind of all around on everything, and I think part of that being their roster for so many maps is going to be their downfall, which I think this is a hard cap 24 team as we move right in.
I mean, I don't think the other players in the roster are that bad. Like Mustifafi Fox, or however you say that name, they're so good on gimmick. Like, it's insane how you can be that good at gimmick and not play tournaments. Like, you can see him; he has like insane aim scores on easy hidden. I think he'll be an insane addition to the core roster for like hidden low AR. I think Lyri, I don't know if you've seen this guy play in solo. He has Chromsonic Dimension A rank. He has stamina, he has tapping. ACLFT, if I'm not mistaken, he's there also for the same thing, same for tapping. I think this is a solid roster. They'll make top 24 in my opinion. They can make it further depending on how well the rest of the players are playing, especially Spray. He's been really improving. Maybe RK Shinkuro haven't been that active recently, but Spray, oh my god, that guy is good. That guy is good at the game.
I was really looking forward to Spray already last year, and I was a little disappointed, but I still think that he has yet to show the world the potential of like how good they are. because the stuff that I've seen them do is like very, very, very solid and very promising. So I think Spray can be such a huge factor for this team. But I think top 24 is the most realistic goal for them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like top 24, sure. Absolutely, but I'm just like, there's still one more team that I'm looking at and spying out, and I just feel like they are a better turkey. But you know, I'm just gonna put them in top 32 just to be different. I feel like it's so hard between the top 32, top 24, especially when it is like in my mind bordering between the two. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, seems like that top 24 overall. And Liliana, correct me if I'm wrong, is the team you're thinking of the next team we're about to go to?
I wonder.
It's gonna be over to Ukraine, who also got top 24 last year.
Listen, bro. Okay, so yes, this was the team that I was feeling like was a little bit more deserving of that top 24. But yeah, no, this Ukrainian team is kind of crazy. You lose a lot of people, but like Ryan Ruffling going, that kind of hurts pretty bad. But you get Coolerbra and you get Mengekyu, Criterion coming in, 1max. Like these are some really good players, and I feel like Ukraine is actually going to go kind of crazy this year.
I'm not sure this is improvement though. They lost No One Loves. You know how good No One Loves is?
That is true. That is true.
That's a big loss.
Yeah, even though Poma, you know, coming back, a goat, not sure how active he is, how good he is. I imagine he's gonna be really good. But I don't know. I think they don't get to top 24 like last year. I think they go top 32 this one.
I think this is a team that relies so heavily on motivation and mental. And it's just very 50-50 for me. I think I'm like very in between top 24 and top 32. I think they can get top 24, but I don't know. I think for the sake of like the tier list, I will put them top 32. But I will say like Coolerbra, nobody's mentioned him yet. I don't know if you were like active on Twitter or anything. This guy is like he is coming up. He has been getting some crazy scores in solo. Just coming out of 5-digit, I think 2 weeks ago, this guy's at 900. So watch out for this guy. He might have some potential.
Like I'm just saying, guys. Like we're sleeping on Ukraine.
I have been let down too many times. I've been doing the prediction streams for 3 years now. I've always placed Ukraine high, and then they always are like, well, unfortunately,
this is the year.
We are missing half of our crew at all times, and it's like, yeah, that's a shame. But I can't root for you anymore to win because we are lacking the consistency, guys. Like we need some extra motivation, some pep in our steps. It's gonna be 32. It's 32 overall for Ukraine. Moving right along to a team I am very excited about, and a team I would like to start off on here. Another UK. With just straight upgrades, just straight heater upgrades. It's Schiazzo coming in as captain. It is Listia coming back to 4-digit. It is big upgrades from Sync, from Matt, from Dream Journey. Wiggler, the hard carry for the UK 5WC team. That's the team that beat the United States, mind you. Up in here, up in this UK 4WC, it was top 24 last year, but with the improvements on all these players and with Schiazzo and Listia, this is a team I'm putting in 3rd place. This is a phenomenal team and a team I'm very excited for.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Listen.
Wait, Hubba, I know we shouldn't be leaking the teams, but you know, like, both United States and Canada are missing, right?
Yeah.
The variance is insane right now. Oh my god.
This is a hard read. I don't know about 3rd, but like 5th, 6th, 4th, somewhere around there, and I am just gonna say top 4 because like we gotta fill out the slots eventually. Listen, like Schiazzo, Listia, Wiggler's such a crazy player coming into 4 digits. I am completely sold on this team. I am so sold on this team. I think that this team is going to go kind of crazy.
I'm
UK
shocked
is-
by the amount of top 12s here. Like, what? This
No,
is
no,
such a good
the
time.
thing
Not
is-
even
okay.
top
There are
8.
3 better teams.
Not even top 8.
No, my reasoning
I'm
behind
not
it is
sure
like
if they're better than Australia,
I like
China,
I
Russia.
see this
Yeah,
team
I'm not
on
sure.
paper and I'm like, this team is crazy. Like they got Listia is like in 4 digits somehow. Skia is like coming back. But like then I remember it's UK. It's like Skia might get grounded mid tournament. Someone might not show up. It's like I don't know. Like on paper, if everyone performs to their best, it's such a promising team. But like there's so much stuff that can happen with the UK, and not only 4WC, it happens in like OWC and 3WC where like I think it was like I don't remember actually, like someone straight up not playing for the entire tournament. It's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
such a big coin flip for me.
Yeah, this is really a really good roster on paper. They're clearly just gonna ban tapping, you know. They're just gonna ban DT tapping, whatever the tapping maps are. And I was so like I didn't know where to place England, so I started like doing matchup predictions. I took the finals pool in 4WC. I was looking at them versus Russia, versus China, versus Korea. They have an insane hidden, insane tech, insane alt roster. But I don't know if I think they lose. I think like the other teams will win the mechanics picks, and they're like it's more likely for them to breakpoint on alt, hidden tech, rather than the opposite. You know.
I suppose. I mean, Skia, Listia though are like such heavy hitters that they're easily gonna improve on their previous placement, and then like I look
Fluffy
at
as well.
the addition of
Dream
yeah,
Journey.
for sure. Like
Yeah.
Dream Journey, Matt is just a duo that I've been seeing a lot that has been like performing very crazy, especially on like super aimy sorts of maps and techie stuff. Like I see that this team can play a lot of stuff, but I don't know. Personally, there's one team that I'm kind of waiting for in to put in that last top 12 spot. So I can easily
Listen.
see them making it like semis, but I don't know.
Listen, right? Okay, so like I hear what you guys are saying, but no, like this team is really, really good. This team is just gonna go the distance, and also like who else is going in top 4/first place? Like
I can
yes,
leak
you
it
still
to
have
you.
United States. Yes, you still have Canada. Who's that fourth one?
Yeah.
Australia.
Like this is
Dude.
top 4.
I think like there's some players being slept on here. I think Demiurge is like definitely a 3-digit caliber speed player. Very, very strong speed player and skill cap there. This
alone
is
on speed,
like you mentioned, United Kingdom is a team that will ban those tapping picks, but like thinking about the all-round nature of a Skia, a Listia, a Demiurge, and a Feint, like they can get some breakpoints on whatever tapping map they choose to leave open. They can leave open the most comfortable one. The Listia, hey, Speed Cup winner, baby. Like UK very, very good. And Sync, nobody said Sync. Nobody's mentioned Sync. Sync is phenomenal on No Mods and Hard Rocks. This is like low-key mod team. This is a team that is going to win. Name a hidden map they lose against a Poland. They don't lose hidden against Poland. They like maybe lose HR2 against Poland. Like this is a very good UK team.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
But they might lose hidden against the other top 3 teams. You know, I'm not gonna
goodness.
spoil it, but there are some better hidden rosters in my
I
opinion.
don't think they lose
Goodness.
hidden to the United States.
No, they
They-
lose
they-
in
If
Canada,
that's what you're
though.
alluding to,
Yeah,
I don't think.
Canada. I
though.
was thinking
They lose in
Oh,
Canada, though.
Either way, I think like we're gonna have to come back to this one because like top 8 I think is the average here with the
Top 8
16
being
of
the
the
average,
third.
means
But
we
like
have
that
to,
just feels wrong.
we have to
man.
auto plop them
We're
in
gonna have
top
to-
12. Like
Top
no.
12 is
Yeah.
wild.
Who would we
That's
remove in
gross.
top 8?
No,
No,
one.
like they're not top 8, they're top 4
They're not-
easily.
top
But
4,
yeah, we
dude.
gotta move on. Unfortunately,
Hmm.
put them in the top 12. We'll come back to it.
Yeah,
We gotta have some more discussion. 4 minutes isn't enough time.
Yeah, okay. We'll do top 12. I'm hurt though.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll talk
hurting.
about it at the end when we'll.
Back.
move
We're
things
in the
around.
home stretch though. It's the final European team on our list over to South America now starting off with Argentina, and unfortunately, these are some pretty big hits. And with a top 32 placement last year and some hiccups in other World Cups, I am personally putting this team in the DNQ stage.
I heavily disagree on that. I think they definitely qualify. I know that losing Penguo is kind of rough, but I saw this team play like Smash Kai, Surite. That's a really a really strong core duo, and I saw them play like Kaoshi is really good, Cloudin is really good. I saw them play a scrim the other day. I've seen them the tryout scores. Bro, this Argentina team, in my opinion, is 100% not to DNQ. Like 100%.
Do we think they're top 32 then? Because our groups are
That
full.
might be it. I believe more in the
genuinely do.
Argentina
I
roster
think they're gonna
compared
have
to, like,
some lowest
New
R
Zealand.
strength.
Yeah, no, this team can make it out of groups. I don't know how much further they can make it. Yeah, you're losing like Penguo, you're losing my Angel
Zeta.
Amuro and Zeta, and like like that does hurt, but like you still have strong players. We already mentioned like Smash K, Surite. Razakon is very good as well. Magic, of course, coming back in, and then you've got Kaoshi and Lexalia coming in. Like these are two really solid players, especially on some of the lower SRs. Like this team can make top 32 easily.
Okay, I've been influenced. I'll match your freak. Yeah, okay. I wasn't a believer because of the Penguin thing, but I get it. I
They have
understand.
solid performers. I mean, the big question is, are they going to be able to scale the qualifiers? I think they'll be able to squeak by, and then once groups comes in, I mean, they have decent low SR player. I think Cloud and MC are going to be doing relatively well on the more like easier stuff in like the tournament. And I mean, Smash K I think was one of their best performers last year. It's nice to see him again. Surita as well. And although there's not much superstar talent, I mean, groups I think should be relatively doable for them to escape.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
it's gonna be top 32 for Argentina, seemingly staying around their same place given the upgrades of other teams. Moving right along to a team I know Nix is excited to talk about. It's going to be Brazil with some pretty big roster changes here. Losing out on Defon's Tequila Baby, but they are getting some pretty heavy heaters. Mistia in 4-digit World Cup. Who would have seen the day? Toy Break on that come up. Yuichi, Kawa, Matson Osu, and then of course that old guard with regards to Rafael and Kaguera. Aphrodite still staying among the fold as well. This is a pretty good Brazil team, guys.
Yeah,
this is-
no.
I mean, I don't know. I can go first. I can go last. I'd rather go last to see what you guys have to say about it.
The thing is, I don't know what to put in my thing anymore, because for me this is another top 12 team. Like
Yeah.
I was watching the 1v1 Brazil whatever tourney like a week ago, and I was being called out in chat that I was scouting for like 4WC or whatever, but it was like very interesting to watch because like the players are like so good in Brazil, and nobody outside of like their community or whatever seems to be talking about them. Like Yuichi, for example, is so incredibly good.
Yeah,
Matson
Brazil.
also same thing. It's like so much in this team that it can surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, Brazil is really good. It's almost like they should be in the top 12 and you should be in the top 4.
Right, where's the
Listen.
going?
It's okay.
And-
It's okay.
and
It's
you know
okay. I'm
what?
rage
You're
baiting.
so right.
I'm rage baiting. But
no,
I
so-
have them in
so,
top
like-
16. But
Listen,
Uh.
like this team is a lot of like 5-digit players that came into the 4-digit scene recently, and they're just so solid. Like Kawa, Mats, Yuichi coming in, Toy Break as well. These are some like crazy solid tournament players. And then of course you've got Mistia coming in. Like Mistia in 4 digits. Like what's
Yeah.
going on here? Kaguera, Rafael, like I cannot glaze this team enough. They are a really good team. I think top 12 easily, probably top 8 actually, but I'm gonna go top 12 minimum.
by
It's a
default,
scary
we have to put them in top 16 because of
Oh
placements.
God, put them top
And
16, whatever. We'll come
lose
back.
Can I
stuff around
just
it
so
once in a while,
confusing,
but-
bro.
We'll come back. We'll come
I
back.
tried to convince you guys. Please, guys. I know that looking at this roster, no one is gonna give like too much. I really hope this roster is gonna prove me right though, because Yuichi, I'm gonna die on this hill. He's top 5 players in this tournament. He's top 5 players in this tournament, just below Squarum, Crystal. You know those people. He's so good. He's literally, I think SIP-wise, skill issue bot, he's the top 1 Brazilian. He just won a 2v2 tournament, getting top match cost on top of Coria Maluco. Like, just to give some context to how good this guy is. On top of that, you got Mistia. We literally hosted, like me and Tiebreak, we hosted a 1v1 Brazilian tournament to make this guy come out of retirement. And we did so. And, and he's good.
Mistia got
He didn't even win.
second to only Mats on Osu, who was also on this team.
Yeah, Metsunozu
Like,
is so good at
crazy.
tapping.
He's
He farmed
really good at
600
tapping.
PP on Fine Knight. Like, you know Fine Knight DT. He got 600 PP and match on it. Then you got Kagura. What?
So what I'm hearing is we just need to move UK down to top 16 to make room for them in top.
Is that right?
I mean,
That's what
fine-
I'm
fine doing that.
hearing. Yeah.
I'm fine doing that, but I'm going to
No,
also
no. UK
I
needs to go
think-
up, bro.
I think
UK needs to
Skia's
go
gonna
up.
kill us, bro. I don't know.
Like, why is UK top 12? What did we do?
I think there's precedent to maybe like move Philippines or Australia down maybe for like UK to go up or whatever, or to put Brazil somewhere. I see Brazil making top 8. Like, I think this team has one of the filthiest DT tapping rosters in the tournament.
It is difficult.
Like,
Yes.
it is insane just how good their players are this year around. Yuichi Toy Break playing, they kept Kagiura, they got Mats, they got Mistia. Like, I would like to see this team in top 8, but I don't know. Like, so many good teams. I mean, if anyone's got an argument, I'm fine to like replace stuff.
I hate to keep doing Indo dirty, but it might be a move Indo down again angle. But for now, we gotta move on. Hey, we gotta move on. We'll put them in 16 for now.
Plot them top 16. We'll do the changes at the end once
We'll
we
do
get
the
to the
changes
rest
at
of the rest of the countries.
Yeah, we'll get back to all that in just a moment. But up next, it is the team that you keep on mentioning. It's up in Canada land for the next one, back to North America, and with some roster changes. Gonna be gone to Birchman, gone to Wandario, and gone to Jamara. But in their place, it's gonna be it's gonna be flat paper and name change. Anybody have who played through pain?
Zex.
That is Zex.
That is
Zex.
Zex.
CKS.
OSU.
Yeah, the tapping hard rock player.
Mm-hmm. This sure is a team, huh?
This is a team of all time. You've got players who have been on OWC. You've got players who have been on 3WC and 4WC. I mean, this is just like the Canadian team, and it's one of those teams where it's just like, yeah, you could sub out one of them for someone else, and you know it'd still be a top 3 team, like easily. Like this is such a strong team. Yip, of course, coming back and flat paper, such a crazy tournament player that kind of exploded over the past few years. Play through pain, which is Zex. Like that dude's just crazy. Steam Happy is Plute, one of the newest additions to OWC Canada last year. Just one of the best North American reading players, especially when it comes to Canada. Like that dude's just crazy at gimmick. Azer, an old head, a tournament veteran, you know, the highest PP play in OSU, 500 PP on that one map, you know the one. Karate coming back in, on United. Yeah, Rumendra, I mean, Zucchini is the only one that I feel like maybe you could switch someone else in, but like this is still just such a gross
Zucchini is
play.
the best
Like,
player of the roster.
No,
no, you think so?
Zucchini is insane.
Zucchini
Alright.
is the best player here.
No,
I might be
Zucchini's
a hater. I might be a hater.
I
But,
opened
okay.
the game, I see his profile picture on every leaderboard. Like, it's
He just
that
won ADS.
insane.
He just won ADS.
He-
Div 1, by the way.
Yeah, he did just win ADS. He
All right,
has
all right.
insane
Listen.
like all-rounder capabilities, absolutely ridiculous on HD.
Regardless,
This core,
I'm
is
still putting
nasty.
them second. I think
yeah.
that they do come in second place here.
they're minimum third in my opinion, so fair enough.
Yeah.
I see the 4 fingers up on 2 guys here. What's up?
This is number 4 because the UK exists, and looking at this roster, I'm actually not convinced that they lose hiddens. Like, this is a Canada roster that is a downgrade from last year when so many teams are upgrading. This is a down when people are going up. I think Wandario is gonna be such a massive hit. He plays everything for this damn team. Jamara is a big speed hit. I mean, Zex is great, but he's not a Jamara. And Birchman as well, I think, is even an even sharper comparison. I think they're a little bit overstocked on Hard Rock. Like, it feels like there's like a big Hard Rock overlap on this roster. I think their DT capabilities are just a little bit too low by comparison. Like, this is very comparable to the UK from me, and I think the UK just kind of slightly gaps them. That's why I have them in the 4th.
I mean, I agree with everything you said, but I think Canada slightly gaps UK. I think it's basically that. I mean, it's a downgrade for sure. I don't think they can make it second. I mean, if they do, good for them, you know. I don't like. I really enjoy watching all of these players, especially Zucchini, but I don't think they have the well-roundedness. Like, I don't think they're a roster that can win against Poland, win against, you know, United States. We all know it's coming. And I think it's at best 3rd, at worst 4th, 5th. It's a really good roster though, especially Zucchini.
Why am I gone?
Nope, he disappeared. Where did
Guys,
Hubba
Goodbye,
go?
Hubba.
Guys, help! Help!
Goodbye, Hubba.
Bye-bye.
They killed him. No.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, sure, on paper, maybe a downgrade, like, especially on mechanics, like Birchman, Wandario, Jamara, like, that's a bit of a hit. But I think their core players are still very, very good, and their additions to make up for that are solid, like Flat Paper Zex, and added, like, gimmick strength with Flute coming in. So, all around, a team with heavy hitters and strong fighting specialists that I can see them making grands again. Will we see another another Cinderella story match where they somehow manage to squeak by tiebreaker in like lower grands? I don't know, but minimum 3rd for sure.
So the overall here seems to be 3rd, I think, going to be the play here. So Poland slightly above Canada because the consensus was a Poland number 2. So it remains to be seen for our final slots up over yonder, but that's going to be all we have for Canada for now. Of course, coming up next, back down to South America, gonna be Chile, making some big splashes here with roster changes and some names that you didn't see in previous years that you were sort of expecting. Yunha back down in 4-digit after some 3-digit escapades. TFGE, a phenomenal pickup there to fill up the hidden roster of Chile. Chalk Gamer gonna be solid on those Hard Rocks and DTs, and 6Nusu9, a bit of a tournament all-rounder, very underrated in my eyes. And Giubi Yifty, player that I'm a little bit less familiar with, but overall should be rounding out the mechanics for this Chilean roster. He's looking to come back in a big way after top 24 last year. Any thoughts from you guys?
This is such an upgrade. This is an insane upgrade. Literally, like, what are we doing? 6Nusu9, he's one of the better players of this tournament. TFGE is one of the better players of this tournament. Chuck Gamer, he plays super well whatever he plays. Sifs, he's, the Mouse X GOAT. I don't know. Like, obviously it's going to be top 16 because it's the only place left. But I think they're better than every team in top 12. No joke.
Yeah, I would agree so. Like, they have... Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, I think they have, like, really good upgrades. TFG coming back for Chile 4WC. Their HD and low AR appear to be, like, some of the best in the tournament, in my opinion, I suppose. And I can see them improving way past their last year placement. So, like, good inclusions. Yunha, very much one to look out for. They're keeping Sifs and number 37. Like, that's a nasty duo, in my opinion. So, I would say top 12 minimum. I don't know who we're gonna go out. I don't know, maybe Philippines gonna have to be nicked down potentially. Indonesia.
It's really minimum. 12
Yeah,
minimum. I think
it's so
Germany
hard.
goes down, Philippines
Like,
go down.
so many teams. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm sorry, chat. I put top 16 UK because I had no idea where to put them because all my slots were filled. But who
You
knows?
put the
Like
top 4. We'll come back. We'll come back to it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
we'll figure it out eventually. We'll reach an ultimatum. Like Chile, definitely one to look out for. I want to see them up there. So we'll see how we're gonna rearrange this.
I mean, looking at this again, I mean, like this
Chile.
team beats Philippines. This team beats Indo. I agree with Nyx in his regards to beating all the top 12 teams and contesting with many of the top 8 teams. It's just this UK placement, man. I swear to God, they're top 3. Like, it's really
top 4. Put them on top 4 and put Chile, Brazil top 12. Come on, just do it.
I mean, our all around here is top 8, so we do lean higher. We will put them in the 4th spot for now and move things at the end. I think is the verdict, but there's a lot of variance with these final teams. It seems this is very scary for our predictions here. So we'll put Chile up in the number 4 for now, Perry, and we'll move on right on along to another South American team. Going to be Colombia coming up next. Top 32 last year with a solid showing, but they just don't even have a full roster this year. I do fear it is the Carlos Flow show again, and I'm unsure if that is going to be a tried and true method with so many upgrades to so many teams this year. I'm personally putting them in DNQ.
No, surely they qualify. I don't think
They
made it.
they will qualify.
I think they qualify. Like Carlos
They
Flow
absolutely
is just that
qualify.
guy, you know. He's that guy.
I look at
Like-
top 32.
Yeah, like Carlos Flow can get it done. You've got Jekaru coming in, 501 eyes. Like these are some really solid pickups. I don't know what's up with the Jekaru to Jekaru thing there, but yeah, Jekaru is just staying in. And this is a team that, you know, they got top 32 previously, sure. Yeah, they might be 7 players now instead of 8, but like this is still a solid team. Like saying that they don't qualify, I feel it does not do them justice.
I think
Yeah.
for like the placement of last year, I think the players that mattered the most are still there, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so it seems like group stage overall, which means top 32
Top
placement
32.
due to. I want to bring this up now. Do we think we move Israel up? Because I looking at all these teams, I think Israel gaps everyone we put in the group stage category.
Wait, which teams
Whoa,
are...
we'll figure it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll just put them in top 32 for now.
But
I
just put them in
suppose.
top 32 for now. There's more teams to come, so
There's-
we'll figure it out.
There's still 3 teams we need to put for DNQ, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, there are 3 more teams that need DNQ.
And I think they're coming up.
No,
There's a possibility. That's kind of messed up. That's kind of messed up.
Yo.
That's messed up.
I hate to do it, but up next is gonna be Mexico. Exciting roster changes here with regards to Brian 56, a player I've been watching since he was like 50k. Very excited to see him make the team this year, but unfortunately, lots of unknowns. And their carry player before was North Sign, and North Sign's gone. And I have them in DNQ. I acknowledge diff.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm
Like it
just
is messed up,
sure.
but I feel like yeah, unfortunately, this is probably going to be one of the teams that just doesn't quite make it, which, you know, does have to happen. But yeah, is unfortunate. You are losing some heavy hitters on this team, but Mexico, I mean, you know, vamos, they can do it. They can get it done. We'll see though.
Yeah, gonna be DNQ all around for Mexico. Hope for the best. And this is why I had Panama in DNQ, because they also lost their 3 best players in the eyes of Leonard H, Gotskin, Apostle, and Baki. Not a full roster this year for Panama. Likely to be another DNQ. Seems like we are feeling the same. If you have any player anecdotes, feel free to share now. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a go next situation, unfortunately.
They have Cerny, which I think could like do decently, being an all-rounder for their team. Aside from that, like, not sure. Losing Toa Leonard H is kind of tough. So you know the NQ it is.
Yeah, unfortunate for Panama. Up next, they're going to be another one that DNQ'd last year, and they're losing Sape, and everything else seems to be pretty much the same. It's going to be Peru, DNQing last year, and yeah, yeah, it's a little bit of a downer for these three, but
No Sape hurts their scaling. I think a lot.
It hurts everything, you know. He'd beat Perma Lobby.
yeah,
Oh yeah, if honestly, yeah, true.
yeah. So yeah, as unfortunately as it goes, our three South American Central friends all down in DNQ, Mexico, Panama, Peru. Shout outs to the Animaniacs for their song there. But we were all waiting for it, and it is our final slot here for the Americas. It is the United States with a full swap out in roster, with exception to Eddie, Indiana. They're hard rock / tapping players. It's Uzumaki for Trigon, Toybot for Mr. Jeffrey, Schwartz for Juicy, Darwin for Toki. Daitaku Helios taking the place of RNG, and insert the new captain of the roster. I'm gonna pass this off to Liliana first as our resident United States player here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, I can pull up the stats sheet here for the US, but I don't really need to because I kind of already saw it. Like, this team is terrifyingly good. Insert, of course, is going to be the captain for this United States team. One of the best like hidden / gimmick players for United States. Can also do all really well. Just a very solid well-rounder. Daitaku Helios, just a fantastic player here. I believe going to be filling out some of that tapping for the team, or I guess mechanics for them. You've got Juicy coming in as well. This is another tournament veteran that just kind of goes pretty crazy on some of the mechanics stuff as well. Mr. Jeffrey, who just outperformed on all of like the double times and the tapping picks too. Trigon, who is a phenomenal reading player and hidden player, hidden on Osu as well, going to be helping out on that hidden reading roster as well. So these are some really crazy switch-ins, and of course you already mentioned like Eddie being one of the best tapping players in the 4-digit scene. Just a phenomenal player who's also expanded beyond just mechanics. Like, the dude can play hiddens a little bit better now, and they can play some more of like the alt heavy stuff as well. And then of course Indiana, tried and true. I think the dude got #1 on every single double time across like both of the low SR and the high SR pools. This is like core United States 4-digit players. And yeah, you're losing like Maxi, you're losing RNG, you're losing Toki, Schwartz, Toybot, Uzumaki. Like, these are all great players that are not making the team, but do not get it twisted. Just because they have so many switch-ins does not make them any less strong.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is
say-
just a bunch of underrated players, you know? Like, I don't think many people get how good, for example, Trigon is. You said they're a hidden reading player. Trigon is gonna be perma-lobby in this shit. I swear to God. Trigon is the future. Trigon is the future.
Trigon is so good. Like,
Bro, Mr.
genuinely
Jeffrey as well.
Nasty as hell.
Bro, that duo, Trigon, Mr. Jeffrey, oh my god, that's so good. Then you got Luke K, Daitaku Helios on aim. That guy is so good at aim. Then you got Juicy on aim. Juicy is so good at aiming. Why are they so good at aim? Then you got hidden on Ozu. I think this roster, not gonna lie, is gonna ban all the hidden 2s and gimmicks against the other top 4 teams. But I think they still have such a strong team on hidden 1s, hidden 3s, especially because of hidden on Ozu. And like, their free mods, they have insert on hidden. Like, what the fuck? We got insert on it. Like, it's not a problem, you know.
USA free mod roster.
Yeah, that free mod roster is scary, but I still think they
It's
lose to
impossible
Poland.
to
But
beat.
it's super close. I think it's super close, but they lose to Poland.
Yeah,
Even
me,
though I
it's
hyped them up. Yeah.
My point why I put this team over Poland is, like, even though it's like kind of 50-50, I think, okay, Poland obviously has people like Squirm who can sort of become like RNG from last year, but I do
Yeah.
think the USA has A, more roster depth, and B, every specialist they have, like every main specialist they have for every roster, can also just become RNG for that specific slot and just top score and carry. Like
Yeah,
combined
that's
with
fair.
like a lot more backup Poland in comparison to Poland, I think this is just like slightly better than Poland.
Like, are we sure these guys can match Koziarek, Squarem?
That's
Kosiarik is
It's
sort
a- it's
of
a toss-up.
inactive though.
It's a
One
toss-up,
OWC
for
and
sure.
became like a bit inactive. Like I
Like,
think
you-
Poland can lock in and win,
Hmm.
but I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
for
it
the
does.
players that, like, in my mind, are top 4 contenders, it really is a toss up between like all of them. Just it comes down to the pool specifically. I feel like at the end of the day, and yeah, Poland very easily could beat the United States if the pool is a little bit more favored their direction. But same could be said about Canada. Same could be said about United Kingdom, about Brazil or Chile. Sorry, excuse me. Like some of these teams that like we just weren't quite able to really fully understand. And I do feel like though at the end of the day, United States, as mentioned, their skill depth and their ability to put in a 4-man roster on most any kind of skill set is like unmatched, I feel like. So I don't know. That's why I put them in champions.
Okay,
That's
so
understandable.
I think with the like player comparisons, you have to think by skill set. I think the squarum of this United States roster is a player like Luke, Daitaku Helios. They play similar things. They're both very aim-forward players. They're going to play a lot of those control picks. For a player like Kosierek, who's a little bit more hard rock, alt-pilled, you're looking at Eddie. Eddie is a player that in previous ADSs was able to match Rectagon. Like this is a very, very, very good hard rock player, like in the upper echelons of OSU period, if he's having good mental. Which given he won the 4WC scouting tournament, he's got pretty good mental right now, I reckon.
And he won ADS, by the
yeah.
way. He also
And
won
he
ADS.
won and he won
ADS
ADS.
as well.
Like those are your player comparisons, and as previously mentioned, you just ban Gimmick and like you're probably fine. This United States roster just has so much depth and so many strong players, like, and the people know me. The people know I don't like to root for the USA, but they're a little bit undeniable, no? Like this is a crazy team.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
and so overall, it's gonna be 3 champions, 2 second places for the overall placement in champions. But like, I think this is a very competitive 4WC, as previously mentioned, and very solid showings from a lot of these teams. But USA gonna be plopped in that first spot, and we'll do some quick swaps here in our later stage just for comfort purposes. But before we get underway with the quick swaps, I want to give a big shout out to some of our sponsors in Slider Pals and Wooding. We can find some of their stuff in the giveaway below. Actually, no, I'm lying, not Wooding. Oh my god, it's
No,
Yo
no.
Bimo. No? It's
Yeah.
Yo Bimo. Yeah, there we go. Better keypads there, actually. In Yobimo for that giveaway. It's going to be in the description of the stream. Feel free to join up, look at the Twitter, and shout outs to Slider Pals as well. But yeah,
just a quick correction. Yobimo is the music label providing originals, and Desolation
Oh, what?
is that.
What is happening? This is why I needed notes from Philoxen, actually. Thank you.
It's
Barry.
okay. It's okay. Philoxen left you out to dry.
Blame Philo. When in doubt, blame Philo.
Damn.
But yeah, changes. Thoughts starting
Okay.
from group stage. I still think it's Israel Angle now.
Starting from groups.
I think we should move Argentina down, and we should move Ukraine up, and maybe Kazakhstan up. That's my thoughts.
Can we start filling top 16?
Is Balkans as good as they are? Who's on
They
the
definitely
Balkans team?
qualify. It's all
Okay.
Dutch.
Yeah.
I think they qualify.
Balkans is good.
I think my
Okay.
issues looking at this, I think Spain maybe should go top 32 because they lost basically 3 OWC players, even though they like gained the Corey. I'm not sure they're better than Ukraine, you know? I think like swapping Ukraine for Spain.
Okay, yeah. First, we need to move Ukraine up. Top 32 is like an injustice, I feel like.
Yeah.
If you guys agree, I mean, I think I'm the only hard disagreeer there.
Yes.
Okay.
I had them top 24 myself.
It's kind of
Um,
50-50 for me on that team.
Yeah, I think who would we be swapping out for Israel here? Is that just Argentina angle or Italy angle
think-
maybe?
I think it's Colombia, no? Carlos.
Oh
Flo-
right,
Isn't it
Colombia.
Colombia?
Yeah,
Colombia,
Colombia. It is
probably.
Colombia.
It's
yeah, yeah.
Colombia.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So Colombia for Israel. Um,
Then
I thought Colombia
I
for
think-
Argentina or what?
yeah, no, I know. I think it's fine like this. Is there any team we'd put on top of Argentina? I think it's fine like this.
I think it's okay.
This feels good.
It's fine. I feel like for top 32 groups.
Let's talk about
these
UK.
look good.
You guys want to talk about UK? Let's just get it over with.
Listen,
okay.
okay.
Let's
Oh,
go.
wait,
First
wait.
things-
So for UK to be in question, we need to consider our top 4. Are we
Yeah.
okay with Poland, Canada, Chile as top 4?
No.
I think Poland, Canada are non-negotiable.
I think
Yeah.
Chile's top
It's
eight.
it's
I don't
it's
think
just
they're
Chile.
top 4.
It's just Chile for UK in my head.
Okay.
Chile's not
So-
top 12. Chile is better than Australia for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
would
think
be fine with
Chile
putting
Chile
Australia
goes
top
down
12.
1. UK for sure needs to be top 4. I feel
I
like.
think.
I will hear
I mean-
out top 8. I will hear out top 8.
Are we sure that it's better than Canada? Wait, Canada, no, sorry,
Yes.
China.
Yes.
Yes,
Is it-
absolutely yes.
Absolutely. Well, then, just put it then. I
Yeah.
think they're top 12. I'm not sure the UK is better than Russia, Korea, China, and Chile, but it's fine. I give it.
I think we're not giving them enough credit with their team this year. Like they are just a disgusting team.
And I
and
think
they will go far.
I'm privy to this top 8, top 12. I think like per our top 8 for Brazil previous, I think like we were high on Indo because of the Cinderella story. Maybe swap Indo Brazil for top 16.
Agree. I think Germany should
Really?
move down. Not gonna lie. I think Indonesia's better than Germany. Said it. I think it's not even like it's Indonesia. If they face Germany, they're not the underdogs. I think Germany is because of all their changes. You know, I like Mankichiro, Chocolate, X3 Lydia, but are they better than like Macabea, 3HD? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard. For sure.
We just need to put Brazil somewhere at least top 12. I think it's criminal that they're in that 16th
do you
spot right now.
do you wanna swap Germany and Brazil?
I think that's better compared to Indonesia. Like I really think.
I'm not sure.
I think Indonesia's better than both Germany and maybe Philippines. I don't know.
Like,
No, I'm
Listen,
not-
are we for
player-wise,
sure?
I see them being high scaling for sure.
Are we for sure keeping Chile in top 12?
I think Chile is really good, no?
Yes.
Like Chile
I
is
think
like
Chile should
top
go up.
4, top 8. Like Chile at worst gets like 5th or 6th.
I'm gonna say
Like,
I
at
think
worst.
Chile should go instead of Australia, and Brazil should go instead of Germany. I'm non-biased. list.
I'm cool with that. I think that
Okay.
works.
Sure.
And Brazil
Any-
for Germ.
But I'm
Anything
down to
else
listening
that
like Germany instead of
feels-
Philippines or Germany instead of Indonesia. But like I don't really
Yeah.
see it. Like
I
player
don't-
for player. Okay, Lion is the goat. Let's say against
Yeah.
Indonesia. Like okay, I'm gonna imagine this matchup in my head. Okay, you got Indonesia. Indonesia has Fuma, that noob guy, Skydiver, Macabea, Blank. Like I don't know. Like I don't think Germany has the depth to match them,
Those-
especially at ISR.
Those 5 players are very good, but at the same time, like, I'm looking at, I don't know, like,
Yeah, Shrek.
Germany
Finn,
over
Lion,
Philippines.
Lazo.
Would Germany be over Philippines? That's the thing, because
Could
I
be
don't know.
though.
Like, I look at this in hindsight, because they have Vin, they have Shrek, they have Stella and Lion, and then like us. I mean, the question marks are there because 2 of our like players who I have advertised to be like decently high scaling are 5WC players, which I don't know. Maybe some people would have doubts about, because I look in hindsight and I feel like it is criminal to like. I look at the core players that Germany has. I think it would be criminal to put them outside of semis.
I
at the same
think
time,
it's
Would
it's
I
l-
put like Philippines down when I don't know? Like, I think me and Zane are pretty solid. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I would.
No, you're right.
I
If
think
there
it's
was-
I think it's more likely Philippines is 16 than Germany 16.
Yeah.
If there was a
Yeah.
replacement to make in this like 4 teams we have on the top 12 right now, I think Philippines is the most likely that I would see going down.
Sure. I'm down for it.
Germany back up to 12. Philippines down to 16. And I think after that change, I think we're like low-key good.
I think everything else looks pretty good. I mean, you know, like anything can happen, obviously, but this feels good.
I am fond of this.
It's still like a question between like United States, Poland for first and second, but I think this
The
is
majority
as
is
good as we can get.
Yeah.
It's
This
it's
is
50-50 between those two teams anyways. So
Yeah.
like
So yeah,
True.
this should be a fun tournament. We had a lot of good bait today. Thank you all for joining me.
Sure.
How close is this tournament? Like, look at this top 8. Look at this
Yeah.
top 12, 10. This is like I can see literally any team in the top 10. Like, let's say Brazil and Australia are top 10. I can see any of them getting to grand finals,
Yeah.
For sure.
that's the thing.
Absolutely.
and
It's
that
so
wasn't the
close for
case
these
last year.
teams.
That wasn't
No,
the case.
not
last
even
year.
close.
This
Yeah.
will be such a good watch, guys. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the people are excited too. Like, you know, the prediction stream is more for fun than anything. Like, this doesn't mean like that much. This is just us. This is just having fun with it and getting a little tier list together. But like, obviously, it's gonna come down to you guys, the players, to put in the time and effort. You know, learn the pools, practice, and play your best. And like, anything can happen. You know, most
Yeah.
anything. So
Almost. But
most anything.
after a hearty 3 hours 15 minutes of tier listing, thank you guys for joining me. It was fun to have a full 4-digit player cast for this predictions. I feel like it was good for information and all that. Big ups to all you guys. Thank you to Skvidos for the long stream, to Perry for helping us with sheet related things throughout this. This whole stream is done on a sheet. It's beautiful. And big ups to Philoxen for helping get this all together, one of those co-hosts this year's 4-digit World Cup. And with all that, that's going to be it from us here for this prediction stream. Thank you all for watching, and we will catch you with the pool for qualifiers sometime soon. They didn't give me that information. You'll hear it from them. Goodbye.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.